Okay, this is session 3 of Eye of the Serpent, and we are just about to commence with the tower, the ancient dwarven rune ahead of us, and we have some introductions to start, and that being said, we are starting. So we got Brother Merrick and Vama, who are kind of contemplating going and investigating this old dwarven tower that's kind of submerged in this lake of weeds. They've fought a bunch of these muck dwellers that have given them a hard time, keep ambushing them, nipping at them whenever their backs are turned. They had to kill about 3 or 4 of them before these muck dwellers finally called it quits and ran back in the swamp, so for the time being. But they also found out a reason why the muck dwellers didn't go to the tower, because when they got close to the tower, there was some effect that happened over them. And so we're going to begin with Merrick and Vama about to investigate the tower when they look behind them and they see 2 figures, humanoid figures, making their way down the land bridge, and they're probably about 150 meters away now, or 300 feet or so, 400 feet, and they're waving at Merrick and Vama, and they don't have their weapons drawn or out or anything, but they're waving and coming toward them.
Hey, slow down.
Yeah, and as they get closer, you could make out that they're in armor and they got weapons, and one of them appears to be a large figure. And as he gets closer, you can tell that he's humanoid. He might be half orc or something. I'm not sure if he's disguised or not. I might have jumped the gun there. And the other one was Ralph's. Your character was a
Human,
right? In armor, leather armor and stuff, and with a bow. And that gives you cause and relief, because it's okay. He's with a human. Okay, half orc. It's not. Let's see what happens. So go ahead. We'll start, and anybody can just jump on in.
Oh, how far away are they?
One quick thing. Something does catch your eye, and this is to Kyle and Ralph. On the top of the tower, it's 2 floors, and on the top there's a battlement, and on that battlement you see movement as you get closer. You see there's a figure that appears to be moving back and forth in some sort of pattern on the roof, like, because you watched it as you got closer. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. You slowed down a bit, and it seems odd to you that you saw these 2 individuals on the land bridge, and you finally caught up to them. These are the guys you think that you've been following for the last day, and you finally caught them. And then it looks like they were about to go to this tower, and then you look at the tower, and there's somebody on the top of the tower. Just to warn you, there is somebody in the tower on the top.
Above us.
Yeah, above them. They don't seem to be in combat or anything, though. There's no battle going on at the moment. In fact, these 2 are kind of looking back at you guys, and kind of looking at each other. And David and Ian, what do you decide to do? And that's Merrick and Vama, of course.
Vama will look over to Brother Merrick, right away, and just look, and without making a sound, make the gesture, finger to lips, like this, and an open hand sort of pressing up against the wall, just like, don't say anything. Pretend we're hiding from that guy up there.
Merrick follows suit.
Pretend we're hiding from that guy up there. It's not even a pretend. And if they want to keep on barking, at us,
just wait.
do we see them? Do we see them enact a hiding gesture?
Well, you see that they're I'm not sure what you mean, but they slide to the side. I don't know exactly, Ian, what you meant. You kind of hide.
Okay, yeah. Where are we in relation to the tower itself? I mean, we're underneath the battlements already, aren't we?
No, you're on the land bridge. Like, you're actually on this map in Roll20. You're here.
How close are we to the tower?
About 70 feet, or not even 50 feet. So
This
you
is
reached.
crouched
This is the point you reached. This is the point you reached when the incident happened.
Okay, well, let's just go to either side of the, not the causeway, but there's that little wooden gangplank.
Right.
There? We'll just one of us on either side and crouch down.
Okay, and you can actually move your characters on Roll20 if you want.
Are we on the right...
Oh, unless I have to bring you in. Yeah, I'll bring you back to the map.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, something like I apologize for this.
So, and then I have the two other characters. They aren't here yet, though, but they're in the corner of the map. Yeah, so you guys are going to wait, and you just hunker down.
Yeah.
All right, so...
With a gesture, finger to lips kind of, and the palm down, sort of like just stay low and be quiet.
To Acheron and Tirith?
No, to my brother Merrick right next to me.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
What time of day is it?
Oh, what time of day was it again? You guys had just traveled, and it would be about 2 in the afternoon at this point, or later.
The sun's high.
About 4. Yeah, sun's still high. It's a nice day, a bit cloudy here and there, but it's relatively nice. You got a good view at this point. On the land bridge, you can actually see around your little part of the valley quite nicely.
Okay.
And you saw them. Like, you caught up and you saw these two guys. And you see that they're waiting. They seem to have hunkered down. Can't really blame them, I suppose, middle of nowhere.
Yeah. For what it's worth, we're not trying to hide from the two that are hailing and approaching us. We're simply getting into a defensive posture.
Right.
Okay. About how long would it take to close the distance?
Minutes.
Minutes?
Not even. Yeah, a couple turns.
All right.
Not even.
And we can see this thing stalking back and forth on the battlement, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to make it out because the sunlight is really it looks weird. You're not close enough to make it out. You'd have to get closer.
Right, like we don't know what it is, but we can see something up there, and we see these two who we're chasing down go into a defensive posture, quote unquote. Like we see all this happening.
Yep.
Okay. I would say, being a ranger, a creature of the wild, I would take all this into consideration and maybe slow my pace a little, try to move from cover to cover. Aware that it may take a little bit longer to reach them, but I see them acting defensively, and I don't want to put myself in any danger, so...
Right.
What I will do... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'll take out a scrap of parchment from my pouch, and using... Let's see... What do I have? I'll take an arrow out, kind of prick my finger and to use the blood as ink and write on the parchment,
A big fat question mark.
No, something along the lines of,
In common?
we're friendly or something like that.
And
Huh?
you're
In
literate?
common. Yeah, I speak common. But yeah, I want to write like something like along the lines of, we're friendly on the parchment.
Okay.
And I'll tie it to my falcon's leg and signal him to fly to them to deliver it.
Oh, interesting. So you guys see this happen. He calls to this bird that was circling up high, and it comes down, lands on his wrist or something, and he
Shoulder.
attaches, shoulder. He attaches, and it commands it, and it flutters off. Now, Kyle, Tyreth, you watching this, and I'm not sure what is that symbol you got going there.
That is actually the symbol of Tritherion.
Ah, cool. All right. So is that on your shield or something?
That's around my neck, actually, but that's my holy symbol. But
Cool.
As far as so, what race is Arsherion?
What races are who?
I can't see his name very well. Archeron. There we go.
Oh,
Acheron.
What's Ralph's?
I'm human.
Okay. This ought to be fun because I'm having a feeling that Tyrath is he's a physically imposing figure, and it doesn't take very much to recognize him as looking very orcish. He's 6'5", 245 pounds. So he probably even dwarfs the ranger pretty easily. I'm taking a guess here.
big
I'm
boy.
only like 5'7", 5'9".
Yeah, he's like a foot taller than you, and he looks like he eats your children. That being said, he's walking with a very steady yet confident pace towards this group, and he's kind of eyeballing Archeron wondering what the hell he's doing. And I'm not exactly afraid to walk up to them, so I'm going to start outpacing Archeron.
Right. And and then he's got his bird airborne. His bird, you guys see this big falcon come over toward you guys. And it's a strange sort of meeting, I must say. This falcon, it drops it near them, or it flies right up to them and lands and drops it. What's your falcon's name, by the way?
My falcon's name is Beauty. I've had him since he was a hatchling. I found him at the base of a tree, with a broken wing, and I nursed him back to health. He's been with me for the past few years. He's become a very devout, very, very stalwart companion of mine. And though I can't, openly communicate with him, I've trained him to recognize, signals and commands and stuff. And I will command him not so much to fly directly, like land on one of their shoulders or anything, but to kind of just drop the message, in there, like to where they can just simply reach out and grab it.
Interesting. Well, how you guys want to stop this or do anything, Vama and Merrick?
Vama will look over to Merrick and see some sort of any ideas? I can whisper over that. You're only a few feet away.
Oh, yeah.
Give it a second. Give it a second. Let's see what happens here, huh?
Yeah, Merrick stands fast, amused at the scene unfolding in front of him.
Indeed. The diplomacy here is interesting. This bird comes in and drops this parchment, and you're like,
well, this half-orc warrior is moshing through the center, just
and meanwhile the half-orc's walking forward. And you guys,
let's see what happens.
The bird, I suppose, takes off and circles up and away.
Can one of us reach and grab whatever the bird has dropped?
Oh yeah.
Be my guest.
And this half-orc's probably still about 200 feet away now, but he's striding confidently. He's not attacking or roaring. He's moving confidently. You see, the striking figure, powerfully built.
Acheron thinks to himself that this orc is foolish approaching two strangers so confidently.
Yeah, different ways.
Or he's just crazy enough to think that he can get away with killing at least one of them to get away from this fight. One way or the other.
Yeah, Vanna will whisper or harsh whisper over to Merrick, who I'm assuming is just on the other side of the gangplank there. Brother, should we let them know about the Phantom? With a slight chuckle.
They seem rather concerned.
Now, as Kyle's getting, Tyrath is getting closer. Tyrath, could you roll a wisdom check for me? So you have to basically roll your wisdom or less.
Yeah. So let me do it the easy way.
Because you've gotten a better look at that sentry on the tower now, right? As you got closer.
Succeeded. I rolled a 4. So.
Right. So now even your confidence stride, Walters, there's something, the figure's strange. It looks now, because it's full daylight out and there's a lot of sun, it's almost that you swear that you saw through the figure briefly, and then it's solid again, and then it's like you got to get closer, but something not right with the figure. And of course, Acheron, you're following up, I'm assuming, right? You're going to walk up to the half-orc behind him, or are you staying back?
I trail him with a little bit of distance, still, hugging cover where I can find it.
Go ahead.
Give me
a hear noise. Do you have a hear noise effect? Rangers have that?
I have moved silently. Okay.
Then that's okay, you're watching behind you too. You thought you heard something back.
Fama wants to, if possible, and if Merrick and I are looking at each other in any way, I want to give him a little wink of an eye and pull out my sling and get a bullet ready in it, a lead bullet ready in it.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Now, Tyrath, you're pretty close now. You're probably about 75 feet away, and you can see they're being cautious. They're staying down. They're actually they're kind of behind the bit of the cover by the slope. Now you read the note, right? And it says, "We are friendly."
That sounds exactly like what a bunch of people that want to murder you would tell you.
Yeah, we're it was something like that. We
Right.
A truce.
At least it didn't say we're from the government and we're here to help. Sorry.
Right.
So you read the note,
Ooh, someone's metagaming.
which is written in blood. You
Apropos.
suspect?
I was
I don't have a quill.
unaware that somebody was role playing Ronald Reagan.
Well, despite which one of us had actually unfolded that message and read it, we could look over at each other and just be like, I kind of nod my head and was like, yeah, they're fine. But we should still wait.
And they're in hailing distance now, too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they're close now. And particularly Tyrath, I'm not sure if you have your weapon drawn or anything.
I don't. I'm not
Okay.
dumb.
Right? So this half-orc, it appears to be, big brute, no, not his weapons drawn. He knows you're there, and he walks up.
At
And
this distance, they're going to see my holy symbol is going to be hanging down in front of my scale mail.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he can. Maybe that's it. The holy symbol.
And by the way, guys, again, if you want to know what my holy symbol looks like, it's there on my screen. So
Yeah, cool.
Right.
Akron, you're about 20 feet behind, I'm assuming, so kind of staying cautious and crouched. And you thought you did hear something back on the landwalk behind you. You thought you heard something rustle, but that happens all the time out here in this swamp too, right? So
let's get in the fight on the bridge. I want to bottleneck some stuff.
but so far it's gone or whatever. And
Well,
now
as a precaution though, I would like to knock an arrow, not draw it, just knock it.
okay. And they can sort of see that, but they can see that you're looking around and spinning around and backing up and looking and covering. Now, remember, you guys have been together for a day and a half or so. You kind of know each other a little bit, and you've come to sort of trust each other, and even, dare I say, have a sort of a friendship. Akron and Tyrath, I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you've had to bond a little bit. So you guys come up, and now Tyrath, you're probably about 30 feet from them, and you're looking at this creature on the top. Now, Merrick and Vama, of course, you recognize that they're at this close.
I'm actually going to stop, plant my feet firm, and I'm going to take in a deep breath, and I'm going to call out, and then in the name of Tritherion, whoever's hiding back there, come forth.
I default to the orc.
Can I do it? All right. Vama will stand up. He will stand up and put his arms out like this. His sling is hanging from one wrist with a lead bullet inside of it, but it's not being swung. He's holding it like this, quite open. In the name of Vama and this tower here, get across now. Watch behind you and watch that fucker on the roof. And then get
That's
back down again. Or however the term fucker translates in common.
Just say it in Orcish. It's just much scarier. It's like speaking Klingon.
All right.
Come on, come on.
Well, if he's invited me to come
Okay.
to the group, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to run at him.
Yell at the guy behind him, though. Watch behind you. Come.
I don't. I'm watching the flank, definitely, keeping my eyes peeled.
Right. And okay, so they move forward, and now you look up, and as you get about 20 feet away from these two guys or so, you're getting this cold sensation, and the figure that was marching back and forth on the roof. Now, I kind of missed what you warned them about. Did you warn them?
Both behind
Both.
them and up there.
Okay, yeah, you said something about the guy on the roof.
Mhm.
Now, I imagine that Tyrath and Akron are already suspicious, but now Tyrath, you really take a close look now, and I'm going to give you sort of an advantage wisdom save or check to see if you recognize what it is now, because you gotten close and you can definitely think you can see right through the damn thing.
Succeed again. Come on. I succeeded again. Rolled a 7 that time.
Okay, this is not a living being. This is some sort of shade or shadow or spirit, and it finally makes sense now why it didn't seem to react to anybody else. It just was marching in this repeated pattern, and it assumes the repeated pattern again, but it really sends this cold spike down your heart. Like for a minute there, you realize like you're almost panicked. And if you go closer, you don't want to go closer at this point. And you feel if you go closer, you might, even your warrior resolve, this is something that gets to your soul. And of course, Akron kind of comes up cautiously behind you, and he suddenly goes white and gets goosebumps. And you both stare at this figure, and I don't know, go ahead. What do you want to do? You recognize it. Akron, you're not sure. You just realize there's something spooky here.
Yeah. Keeping an arrow knocked in, I'll just kind of assume the same defensive position,
Okay.
just kind of prepared for anything.
Right, so you guys stop then. You don't go any further.
Vam will yell out at that point, "Come across the bridge! Come across the bridge! Come on! Watch the swamp behind you! Just come across the bridge! Don't be afraid!"
I'm gonna get right at this point because I'm actually a little afraid. I realize that even I don't have enough power to turn away something like that. I'm actually gonna bull rush up to where they're hiding. Which, if you're cowering behind a rock, this is probably a little terrifying because it's like a raging rhinoceros. A heavily armored guy with 4 weapons hanging from various locations on his body just bull rush.
I think we're just sort of like on a downslope going to the water next to a causeway, or sorry, next to a gangplank.
Either way,
Either way.
You're the only person he knows exactly where you're at, so he's aiming where you're at. So, Vama, here comes 245 pounds of muscle and weaponry with a shield, a large shield, running at you.
He's gonna. Vama will keep on moving. Like go down the gangplank. Go down the gangplank. Go. Like to keep on going down the wooden.
Well, I'm not going. You're not moving. Why am I moving?
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, hold on a minute.
Shit,
Now,
this is no good.
are we playing games with him? Like, I'm not sure what's going on. Because as he comes close, you're gonna have to make a saving throw now, Tyrath and Akron.
What saving throw are we rolling here?
This is versus Petrification Polymorph.
I failed.
Petrification, if I'm not mistaken, that's a con save.
Regular saving throw.
Regular saving throw. So you're a
got it.
ranger, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
14.
But I don't get any bonuses against that.
Actually, you do get a +2. Did that help with you, by the way?
No, God, no. I have to get a 13.
Oh.
I only had a 9. That.
I believe I make it.
Okay.
No. You rolled a 9.
So the half orc is suddenly seized with an incredible, unnatural sort of psychotic terror. The creature on the top of the tower kind of walked to the edge as soon as he reached sort of the end of right where the wooden planks were kind of going to start about 15 feet from there, and as he motioned you forward, you came into this sort of barrier, and you could sense it there, but you didn't realize how strong it was going to be, and these other characters seem to be immune to it for some reason, and you have an overriding urge to kind of run and back down the way you came, down the causeway.
Shit.
That'll be fun. Well, I move 120
Yeah, so you see the orc give out this primal kind of scream, and this phantom's eyes flash for a second, and this aura goes out, and he's running. And Acheron he kind of grins, and it's even something that any creature can't fight if they fail their save. But Acheron, you saved.
Yes.
So your kind of buddy is running by you. He pushes you aside. He's like, out of my way. And he runs.
Pretty much. Tyrath's going in this direction, I'm guessing? Down the wood?
No, you go back down the causeway.
Oh, down the causeway. So
yeah, you'll turn around and go back away from the Phantom.
Anyway.
I'm
now,
looking
Merrick
at
and Vama, do you guys do anything?
Merrick, you're a lot faster than Vama is.
Now, this half-orc is booking it.
You want to catch him?
Well, actually not. You're going to be running for 2 rounds before you can make another save to basically recover.
You're faster than either of us. You're faster than anybody else here.
Yeah, do I think I can catch him?
He's running fast, but you could keep up with him.
I have a run of
he's actually
120.
wearing heavy armor. I think his speed is 9.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I am wearing heavy armor. I'm wearing scale. So, yeah, I am only going 9.
Yeah, so you can easily catch him. And he's clang, 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 clang. And he's running. Instinct is just making him hold on to his gear at this point. But you can catch him easily if you want.
Okay, Merrick's going to sprint after him in an attempt to calm him down so he doesn't alert more of the lizard men we're fighting.
Okay, could you make a 6-sided roll for me, please?
Sound familiar, Merrick?
Yeah.
Yeah. If possible, Vama's gonna hold for the one with the Hulk. Come on this way towards Vama, and then we can move across the gangplank towards the tower.
I have a 4.
Okay, so you are not surprised, and in fact, they rolled bad. You, in fact, surprised a couple muck dwellers that were creeping up behind you guys, and when he turned around and ran, he kind of ran right by them, and they're startled, and they're close by. Now, Tyrath, you're running, you hardly even notice these creatures. They're these large lizards. They probably weigh about 130 pounds, 120 pounds. They're called muck dwellers, and they've been harassing the party all last session, frankly. And they're kind of cowardly, though. They kind of cowed them for the time being. But anyway, you run right between these two, and Merrick, you come running up, and these two, of course, will roll for initiative now. Oh, no, you surprised them. You get first move.
Yeah.
Yes. Tyreth just runs through them.
You got to run through the surprise segments.
Yeah. Now, you could use your surprise to just sprint through them as well. Or you could attack, of course.
How far away are they?
You could have caught up with them as well, Ralph.
Right.
He's
definitely.
He's a big guy. You can outrun him.
Oh, definitely. And I'm wearing light armor. My base is 12.
Yeah.
Right, but the enemies, the what'd you call them, mucks?
Muck dweller.
Muck dwellers. Would you
Lizards.
say they're at least 7 feet away?
Oh yeah, he ran about 50 feet down at least, or about 100 feet away
Yeah,
now.
he made it 50 feet.
Well, not my speed.
He ran for a round, like
Yeah, so I got 90 feet in a round.
he ran about half that or so. He's kind of surprised everybody turned and ran and howled. It was everybody, whoa.
Well, I'm trying to... I can get 60, which would definitely put me within range.
Okay.
And since I had an arrow knocked, in
Right.
surprise, I can take 3 attacks.
Yeah, you could send a volley. And they're not in combat, so you don't have to worry about friendly fire. As a
Right.
surprise, they're not engaged yet, so you actually have targets.
Now, once I do get within range, how many targets do I see?
That would cost you a few segments to move. But you would definitely have both
Well,
targets. You see 2 targets.
Yeah, I just want to get within range.
Yeah, it's not far. You only have to walk about 10 feet. Yeah, so you could just move ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
What kind of bow do you have?
So a longbow.
Okay, yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and loose one. Here we go. First one.
Yep, go ahead.
That's a 19 on the attack.
Definitely a hit.
And these are
Nice.
small to medium, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you just all of a sudden you guys are watching this Akron guy spins around, takes a few steps, feathers an arrow quickly.
I like that guy.
So that's 3 on the first hit. I'm gonna attack the same guy with another arrow.
Okay, the one that you hit a really good shot right behind the flank or the shoulder flank, and you pierce his heart. And
Oh, he goes down?
Oh yeah, he drops. You feathered him.
Then I'm gonna go after the second guy. Then the other guy I see.
You guys are lightweights. There's just a lot of them.
That's a 15 on the hit.
That is a hit. Yeah.
All right, and that's a 2 damage.
Okay, that one gives a yelp as you put an arrow into it, but it gives out a yelp and jumps back into the swamps. Well done. They don't seem to be looking for targets. You don't see any other ones. Do you have another shot? No.
I do.
Okay, well, this one you can shoot
but
it before it runs.
Yeah.
Or no, it could actually move now because it would have, for you to reload, would take a couple segments.
Sorry, I got to go AFK 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay. So it flees into the swamp with an arrow in it. Talrath, or Tyrath, pardon me, you're still run for now 2 rounds. Another round goes by. Brother Merrick, you're still with him. You're kind of yelling at him and helping him, I guess.
Calm him down.
Okay. Now make another saving throw.
And also, let me bring it back up. It's still going to be polymorph, right?
Yeah, and you do get a +4 bonus.
Okay, so I rolled it. That would actually be a success with +4.
Okay. Yeah. This now with the distance, you can tell the distance helped a lot. The further you got away, it was better. And suddenly there's this strange looking guy beside you, and he's, I don't know, Brother Merrick, what do you say to him?
Slow down. It's just a phantom. Now, do we know it's a phantom? If not, then I'd use something like
Well, that's your word for it. I mean, that's the word. It's fitting.
Okay.
Right. I want to retrieve my arrow from the one I fell.
Okay, roll 6-sided. If you get a 1 or 2, you can retrieve it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's
Shit.
ruined the flint or whatever.
The arrowhead snaps off inside of him. Can't retrieve it. Damn it.
And now, actually, you're special with the
2
bow,
arrows.
so I would say you get 1 to 3 because you actually specialize with the bow, right? Sort of.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
going to?
specialist with the
Yeah.
bow.
Okay. So
Yeah, I
you would.
specialize with it.
Okay. So now you see Brother Merrick has stopped Tyrath's flight, and they're talking, and Tyrath's taking big breaths, and he's calming down, and he's there. So Tyrath, you finally got your wits back, and you feel your face goes a bit red from green red.
Red as a green face can go.
But now as a cleric, you realize like, this is some undead underworld madness that came over me. Ooh. And you can introduce yourself now to this stranger in front of you who actually came running after you and didn't attack you or anything, but he seemed to want to help.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to, after I finally caught my breath, actually going to introduce myself as Tyrath. And as I introduce myself and give him my name, I actually am going to hold out one of my humongous meaty paws to shake his hand, since it's probably my right hand, since my left hand's occupied with the shield.
Yeah.
So Brother Merrick introduces himself as such and shakes your hand and asks, were you brought here by the rocks as well?
Yeah, I tell him as far as I remember, or one thing I know, I'm on the ground traveling, and The next thing I know, I'm surrounded by angry baby rocks.
We have a similar story then.
And you guys, as you're doing this, you're talking to each other. You guys walk back toward the other end of the island, and this time, Tyreth, you're a bit more prepared, and you feel that you might be able to overcome it this time. You'll get a big bonus, and you have appears to be allies now. And you just you see Akron, and as you guys walk back, you go by this corpse, and you see Akron. He's trying to dig this arrow out, and he's like, "Damn it!" He pulls it breaks as he's pulling it out, and he's watching the muck and the swamps around.
Bugbear.
Yeah, and you could introduce yourselves. Actually, you guys walk up to the rest of the group, I suppose, and the introductions will go around at that point. And so let's start with moving my cats that are in the way again. And
that's what they do.
Oh, he's back. Okay, yeah, I know. I got one perched. I got one in front of the camera, or in front of my one screen. All right. So, pardon me, David. You already introduced yourself as Merrick, and he's a monk. You could tell. We'll slide to Tyreth briefly. He's already kind of introduced himself physically and whatnot, and on to Vama. He's. If you would like to introduce yourself, we'll get this party kind of together and moving. Yeah.
Vama, Vama is half elf, very, very obvious, even though he wears a woolen cap that covers his ears. You can tell by his features, and his eyes are amber colored. Obviously half elfin. No armor, no visible weapons except for a heavy short sword on his belt, but it doesn't look like it's been used very often. And that sling that he's still got around his arm. He's got a strange sort of paranoid look in his eyes at all times, and he's standing in complete awe. He's never been this close to a half-orc in his life. Doesn't know what to think about it. Vama, fighter magic. Magic user thief.
Nice. Cool. And then we get to Akron, who is our ranger. And Akron, introduce yourself briefly.
I am Akron Stormsword, a member of the tribe known as the Phazon. I basically specialize with a bow. And hang on a second.
He's tribal?
Okay, come on, cats.
Yeah, from a nomadic kind of druidic tribe, and I left home for my own personal reasons, which I don't want to discuss at the moment. Still kind of painful, but I basically travel around doing good deeds, accepting donations, so that I can continue my mission. And I basically had the same story as you guys. Was walking down a forested path, just seeking the next town, looking for work, when all of a sudden I was carried off by a giant bird and found myself in its nest, next to my orc friend here. We banded together and escaped and ran into you guys.
And so you guys are all in the same predicament. Survival and get out of the valley. Yet there's curiosity too. There's why not check out some spots and have some adventure on the way. This island was an opportunity that kind of popped up. They thought, wow, why is that here? Let's check it out. It kind of dominated this valley, this tower. It's pretty small though. It's probably about 60 feet across both ways. On the west side of it, there's an open courtyard area that has about a 6-foot wooden barricade, and it appears to be an inner courtyard. And then the west half of the island is the actual tower itself, which is about 25 feet wide by about 60 feet long.
Vama wants to throw in right there, like before, forgive the quick introductions. Let's get to the tower, quick. Let's get to the tower.
Tyrath actually, he kind of fingers his holy symbol. Oh, and he actually utters. Does anyone else in this group speak Orcish? That's the legitimate question.
I do.
Vama does. You're the only one that understands what he says. Then he utters a curse about something about getting bittersweet, angry revenge on that specter for making him look like a fool.
Yep. And you recognize that it was some weird undead creature. But for now, there's this rickety wooden walkway that seems to be solid. Now, there's an important point. When you guys, the two of you were following this party, you were tracking them. You had the ranger and whatnot. About
Darren, sorry, real quick. I forgot something, and I need to know how you're handling it. How are you handling additional languages? Because I'm supposed to have maximum of 2 additional languages. Do I just need to pick 2?
Yeah, and use common sense. I rely on you, right? You probably wouldn't know High Elven.
Yeah, I would probably know Common Elvish or something. I just thought about that because that's going to make a difference if somebody in this group, we need to communicate in different languages, what languages we actually know.
No, good call.
Right.
The half elf has got a lot of the same languages as the half orc does. So, like all of the goblin-ish tongues, goblin tribal tongues.
Right. Now, who has that +1 dagger, +2 against small creatures?
Merrick's carrying it.
Okay, because those lizards are small creatures, for instance, right? That would have been...
If you feel like meleeing them.
True. So there's a wooden walkway. It goes about 40 feet on sort of stilts, moorings, and it enters the courtyard on the west edge of this building complex. Now, I was just, I almost forgot, while you guys were tracking the other party and catching up, about earlier in the morning, you came across a battlefield in which you found a bunch of these corpses of these muck dwellers. And you found, like, this party must have encountered a bunch of them. There was like 10 or something of them, 8 or 10. And there was 3 or 4 bodies there, I think, at least. And there's a few torn, some garbage and crap laying around this little clearing. But what you did notice was a small statuette that was left behind. And it was probably about 24 inches long, probably weighed about 12 pounds, made out of a hardwood. Somebody had done a decent job of carving what was it again? It
was a lizard man, wasn't it? Some reptilian.
Yeah, a statuette of a lizard man. It has some value, you could tell. It's actually quite nice, quite artistic. It's probably worth a few gold pieces, but it's strange. You see that it's just propped up against a tree, and there's footprints everywhere. The ranger's trying to make sense of what happened, and I'm kind of going back in time and whatnot. But it's a little bit, might be a little important. Now, basically, I'm getting to the point. You can take the statue or not. You can leave it. Now, this is Tyreth and Acheron, and this is about 7 hours ago.
How big did you say it was? Sorry.
About 2 feet long, hardwood, weighs about 10, 12 pounds. It's pretty hefty because it's hardwood. It's nice.
I mean, I have plenty of carrying capacity. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
I just don't see much use in it. I don't think I would have recognized it like as a holy symbol or holy item or anything like that offhand.
Yeah.
And unless there's a reason for me to rescue it, I don't think I would have done it.
Right? Acheron,
yeah.
That appealed to you anyway?
Do I recognize like what it's a statue of specifically?
It is a lizard man.
Right, but
it's
is it
the
like
details. Now you're taking a look at it. The details are pretty impressive. In fact, this lizard man statue even has some webbing gear. Like there's some belts kind of carved into it, and with little pouches and stuff. You notice now, and you take a closer look. It's
right, but I'm thinking more like
go ahead.
I was thinking more along the lines of like, would I recognize it as a religious icon? Or more of like a totem, based on.
No, it's very artistic.
Okay, so it's just a statue.
Just a statue.
2 foot long, made of wood. I would think, as a ranger, I need to stay mobile, stay light on my feet, and I would probably view that as encumbersome. So I would have left it.
Okay. So you guys, we're back now. You guys caught up. We're at the end of the walkway.
We all know where it is in case we need it for something else. Huh?
Now there is the option of who's first, sort of thing, generally in the group.
marching order.
Yeah.
Do you want to set that up on the roll 20?
I could do that in the turn order. So now what you do is you highlight your token and then go to your character sheet and hit initiative. I think it is. I haven't done that for a while.
I know in the
Just
5e sheet it would be
positioning.
initiative.
Yeah, there it is. It's on by dexterity. There's a button there. And this is just to, now the modifier would be your weapon speed. It would be your, and so on and stuff, right? Now I'm not sure if that macro works correctly or not, but if you're highlighted your token though, it should add you to the turn order when you do that. But you have to have your character highlighted. That's just a little logistical thing on roll 20. And then
nope, I had mine highlighted. It is not adding me directly to the initiative order. It's weird.
You know,
okay, then it's the macros sometime. Yeah, okay. I will do that quickly.
Either
in a
way,
minute.
we can still get our position and facing if need be. Eh?
Yeah, and you can physically move your. Let's just move your token where who's in front. Let's all line up on that bridge.
I was gonna say, I have no problem with marching in the front, but
Okay.
to Vama or
But you're noisy, right? Armor
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Hold on, let's be slick about this. And Vama will be happy. Just as a side note, Vama will be happy to speak to the newcomers, but just wants to get indoors. Does not want to be out here anymore.
sick of the muck dwellers.
Yeah, and whatever else might be out there. But introductions aside, Vema is very quiet. He's not wearing any armor. He's wearing just heavy woolens, and he is used to being quiet. So he'd be happy to be moving about. For a place he's half elf, and he's got heightened senses for concealed doors and traps.
Right.
He's not afraid.
You'll be the point man
And
scanner.
can see in the dark.
Well, I see in the dark, but I'll follow up right. I'll follow. Actually,
Okay.
if Vama's our trap man, I'll
Just
follow.
give him some space. Give him about 10 feet or so. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'll follow 20 to 30.
All right. So Vama goes ahead, scanning. Then
So
Tyreth,
I'm moving right back
clank, clank, and then
behind him
right,
to give him space and time to operate.
and then let's say Akron and Brother Merrick's bringing up the caboose.
I guess, and they got to figure out. I guess they need to figure out who's where.
Okay, we could modify this if other plans or whatever come up. The archer should be somewhere near the back usually, right? So they can
Well, it's those
have room. All right, so Vama, you come up and you see that there's this open courtyard. It's kind of overgrown with vines, and there's insects scurrying around, and there's moisture and everything. That figure, you can't see it right now because the angle of the roof and wall.
Above us, yeah.
But you can feel its presence up there, just giving you guys cold chills. It must be some remnant of the dwarven past or something. And now that you got closer, you could see that it was sort of a stout, short, shadowy shape. And it must be some, spirit of some long gone real century. So Vama, you look into this courtyard and you see an open space, and you can move a little bit further ahead and you'll see a bit more. You'll see that up here, there's an opening about halfway into the tower. And there doesn't appear to be anything else here.
Gorgeous.
Right. I don't know if you want us to be moving figures to describe our actual actions, but at some point, Vama wants to be able to look backwards to the half-orc is the nearest to him as well, and say, that phantom above us is our doorbell, huh?
That's a little unsettling.
I smile grimly.
Yep. So it's a good bet anything that's here knows we're here.
Yes, but those mudskippers, they do not come.
That's good news for me. So I'm going to move up. I'm actually going to move into a little bit better position to where I can cover his back if something comes out of nowhere. I can a little faster.
About 30 feet down, there's a opening in the side of the tower, and it appears to be the main entrance.
Just as a question, should I, on this map, should I ignore any symbols that look like pits or traps?
Yeah, and I've moved them.
Okay.
I realized that, but too late. About an hour ago, I saw that, and I forgot, and then so I've moved some things.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with first and second edition things is they never intended the maps or books to be actually used by players.
And I have ways of covering that up and stuff. But anyway, but for now, yeah, good eye, of course. Now you guys all creep up, and you can see this courtyard. There's an entrance that goes up and in. And Vama, if you could roll a 6-sided die for me.
Yeah, I can do. I'll do it on. I'll do all my rolls inside of.
And what's your detect traps?
For traps, I've got the thiefy ability, but as a half elf, anything that's concealed, generally, I have a 1 in 6 passive chance of detecting and a 3 in 6 of searching.
Yeah, so roll 6-sided, so I thought. And so you're almost standing on what appears to be a cleverly kind of fake floor. Like, yeah, there was cracks and all sorts of parts of the floor missing, and now you notice that there was cleverly, like I said, somebody had built an elaborate sort of trap. It was very cleverly made, and you just spotted it, and it's basically right in front of you. And you could actually lift up the corner of it, and down below you can see there's about an 8-foot pit.
All right. I'll succinctly let the guys right behind me know, point to it, say, watch out. First step is doozy, huh?
The years, neglect, and weather have all taken their toll on this place, yet it seems that somebody has been here recently. Mm-hmm. Somebody with a grim mission, since 2 fresh, scaly hides hang limply from a hook beside the door of the building.
What? Lizard?
So either side. Yeah, you recognize them as muck dweller skins. And there's one on either side of this entrance. And there's 3 stairs that go up to a door. And yeah, somebody's killed a couple muck dwellers and skinned them.
Vama will draw his short sword and replace his sling around his wrist.
Right.
When I see, do I see the 2 skins where I'm standing at there?
Yes, you would. They're actually they seem to be put on display. Like
now that Valma's got his sling ready, definitely without fail, out comes the bastard sword into a ready position.
Okay. Yeah, you see Valma kind of tense, and now you guys all can creep up, and you can see there's
I want to move my miniature, but fat, lazy black cats make this difficult.
Yeah, you got one too. Yeah, I just keep shooting mine off. I'm like, come on. Well, I bought this new chair, and this thing it'll perch on my back now. It loves its favorite spot. But anyway,
ever since I got her last Halloween, she's been like right on top of me all over the place. There we go. Right there.
So you guys move into the courtyard.
Yeah, I know I'm on top of you, but I got to make room so the other guys can get around the pit.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up a bit because you're securing the floor. Watch out! There's a pit right here.
Yep.
And he motions it and is like, somebody made a platform over that pit.
Yeah, so, Vama will just point it out without making too much sound.
Okay, so Vama, you want to check? Go ahead.
The short sword is out now at this point. Sling is replaced around his wrist.
Roger.
Oh, gross, cat. Ugh.
And I don't know if you're using figures as proxy for, how do you want to do that? Like for an intended movement? I just want to be clear so I don't do anything.
No, when I do it on the map, it's real time. Like you can move.
The other thing you can do is if you want to map your movement, you can do lines. So like if I wanted to and Darren would have to delete them at the end of this, but it's easy enough to do. Just go right there, to right there, to right there, to right there, right there. For example.
Understood.
I find it simple just to move your character. Like
I'll just move my character in what I think to the next until I get a call and response from the DM. Then
I didn't do that. Flex mode.
Ooh, yeah. No. I don't think that's necessary.
So Brother Merrick and Akron, you're following up, right?
Correct.
Okay, and
yep.
He secures the area. Searches around.
Before
how high is that?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you said there's a wooden barrier that was like overlooking the lake on our that would be on our right as we're coming in. How high is that again?
6 foot.
So we can't really look over it without kind of giving ourselves a heave-ho.
Well, Tyrath can. he can look around and over, and there's like vines growing over and stuff, but he can kind of make out it's only 6 feet, so he can just, and you could go to the edge and actually he could lift himself up a bit and look over, and he can tell that it's just a simple wooden barricade. The gate that used to be over here is long, it's fell in the swamp long ago, it's gone.
Right.
And Vama, you check these 3 stairs out, and they seem to be trap-free as far as you know, and clear. And there's a
Just looking for anomalies, that like structural anomalies, really.
yeah, and it seems clear. There's a large door there. This place is well built. It was built by dwarves.
Where the heck is our dwarven dwarf at? So he can get his 1 in 3 chance to detect structure and everything else.
Yeah, doors are coming handy.
Now, hold on here. Those hides that are by the gateway. I don't know if we're talking about this openly like this or not, or whether there's somebody on the other side of the door listening to us talking here.
You're being pretty quiet. Everyone's being cautious.
Someone is here. We all, out of character, we all understand that there is somebody here, right? So why would they trap a way to get in? There must be certainly, unless there's another way in besides this door, there's no way in hell that this door is going to be trapped. I can understand like a pitfall that you can circumnavigate, but right here, I think we're probably in good shape. However, there might be somebody here. This is the problem.
Well, Tyrath, he's actually going to move close to you because he's incapable of being quiet from distance.
Probably that.
He's a half-orc, dude. He's not exactly subtle.
Not only but you've got 3 weapons and metal armor.
Yeah, so clanks over to you and whispers back to you, even though it's kind of a carrying whisper. Even then, and well, if they're behind there, I kind of want to get their attention. Much better than all this sneaking around.
Maybe we should get their attention.
Exactly. Again, he's not Captain Subtlety. He wants to be, but God help him, he's just not good at it.
Let's let the rest of them come up. I mean, this is it. This is apparently the only way in. If we search this is the only door to get into the structure of the tower itself that we've seen?
Yeah, because it's surrounded by swamp. The tower is sticking out of the swamp.
Right.
Unless he swam around it, but that's
no, that's not practical for us.
No, that would be risky.
Why don't we just knock on the door then, huh?
Okay, so I got it, Ralph. Good call. You hear this kind of screech as the falcon takes off with some morsels in its claw, and it goes off probably for an hour or something to go fly and hunt or whatever. So it's gone for now, right? Okay, good call. Now you guys can come into the courtyard now and arrange yourself over there. And the door doesn't appear to be locked. It's a heavy dwarven door, so it's pretty low, actually. It probably peaks out at about 5.5 feet. But the hallway itself seems to be about 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall.
Whoever's here already knows we're here.
So I guess open the door.
I say the big guy does.
Big guy is going to take direction well. He's going to go up to the door, and with almost enough subtlety to be a battering ram, he's going to take one of his big fat legs and he's going to kick the door open.
We're not welcome guests, are we?
It's great, and it kind of stops about 3/4 of the way in. It seems at that point it seizes a bit, but it does open, and there's a hallway that stretches out before you for about 30 feet or over 30 feet, and it appears a staircase goes down steeply at the end to the right, and to the left there appears to be a similar door to the one that you just kicked in. Nobody's in the hallway or jumping you at the moment, but it did make some noise, of course. Crang! Ha! And you're there. Ha! Your weapon. Bit disappointed.
I'm going to turn around to Vama, and I'm going to give him a wolfish grin and say, guest first.
All right. Fuck, I'm no stranger to breaking and entering, but I am one to combat. So, who do we got with us? Get Acheron in there. No, Acheron, guard the door. You've got a bow, eh?
Yeah.
Wait, who's the fourth? we just lose somebody? We just lost Acheron.
Oh no! Like out of this talk
chat? Hangout.
Oh shit! Right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll assume he's taken up archer's position. We got you guys
Right.
covered.
Let's
Brother Merrick.
take a second out of character. Let's take a second.
Yeah.
Here.
There he is.
Why don't we push in and cover all of these? Like, we can see the corridor, right? There's a door to the left, and that stairwell is visible to us to the right at the end of the corridor.
Yeah.
Why don't we mosh in, and one of us get to those door, one of us guard the entrance that we came in through, one of us get to the stairwell, and the other one stand at the main door that we're coming in right now. Let's
Now,
just spread out fast.
You may need a light source if you go down the stairs.
Half orc and
So as
half
far
elf
as
go
you know,
deep.
and possibly on the. You don't know if.
We both got 60-foot infravision. We can see in the dark.
Yeah,
Half
but
orc
we
goes
have
to the door, half
we
elf
have-
goes to the stairwell.
Yeah, but
Okay,
not all of us
stays
can
outside,
see in the
so-
dark.
Go ahead, move your characters.
I was
Right.
saying, you want me to go to the stairwell at the end, right? Right
Yep.
there.
You go to the stairwell at the end, Vam will go to the door and start listening. Acheron stays outside, and the monk stays at the door that we just busted through. How's that sound?
Yeah, and move your characters where you want to, and Bama's kind of he's the scout guy, so he's
I
takes up
think
position.
David hasn't been moving his, but I think he stepped away for a second or something.
Oh, David, are you here? Yeah, I
He's
think.
getting
Okay,
stepped off, so
gotcha. So Tyrath, you see these stairs go steeply down to a brief landing and another door to the west. Vama, this door you can see there's some slight light coming from underneath. Like there's and you recognize now, and I actually closed them, but there are arrow slits in this room.
Nice.
And I closed them because you can't see from the outside, but now I'll open them up.
So, David, you got voted to guard the front door that I just kicked in while we explore a little bit.
Yeah, so we were moving in. Yeah,
Just stay there in a threshold.
So Vama, this door isn't locked. You push it open.
No, I want to look at the half orc and make direct eye contact to get some sort of confirmation that the stairs are clear.
I'm going to tell him the stairs appear to be clear. I don't see or hear anything.
Yeah, and you guys have been relatively quiet. You haven't been banging around or thrashing things. You kicked in the door. Kicked in the door.
Kicked in that door with a muscle.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. So the jig is up, possibly. Now you push the door open, and this.
No, I
room-
want to listen at it at least.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, you're listening. It's dead
Yeah,
quiet.
I want to put an ear to it at least, just for a second.
Yeah, it's
Shuffling.
dead quiet.
Okay, yeah, let's. I'll
Yeah.
open it with all adroit.
You slowly, and Tyrath's watching, and I'll say that Merrick is a little closer. He's just behind you. And Akron, you're stationed in a position that you can cover the rear. This large room has dried fish, more dried fish, and yet more dried fish. From floor to ceiling and from wall to wall, this room is crammed with wooden racks holding hundreds of fish and eels, all neatly slit and dried.
We just
And
found
it's
a nice-
literally, you can't see across the room. There's so many racks of drying fish and eels. And it actually smells quite nice. Like somebody's actually dried them out here and on these racks. And they look pretty tasty. They're not rotting or anything. Somebody may have even brined them and whatnot. And you're just like, what the heck, Vama, you're looking? Tyrath's looking over your shoulder, sort
I
of.
was saying, a question, Darren. Is Tyrath smelling this?
Oh,
Right.
he would be like,
Okay, so Vama, this is going to be a little creepy for a second. Tyrath's going to come over. He's going to put both hands on your shoulders.
Whoa, hey!
And he's actually going to lean over your shoulder, and between his tusk, he actually starts to drool. It starts to drip down onto your cloak.
he's just, oh yeah. And it's been a while since you've ate, and that scare gave you quite an appetite. Akron, you see Vama open this door, and you can smell right away. You can smell like smoked fish, and it's this fragrant smell. You see Tyrath go over, and he's
Grimming
just-
me, dropping the level on me.
he's on his toes over top of Vama, just looking in, going, "It's like a treasure."
Oh, for
Um,
fuck's sake.
I will call out to him to grab a couple for my bird.
We have enough
Ah.
food now to last us for quite a while, but
Okay, so when he says a couple, he's going to go in and he's going to break one of the shelves trying to get it down because he's in such a hurry.
all right, hold on. Before you get too far into that hole, man, Vama wants to back up a little bit. And
big guy.
start
Easy big
looking
guy.
down. Yeah, I know, but hopefully he's as slow as he is big. You know what I mean? Velma does not want to go in there, but wants to look an eye down the stairwell that half orc was supposed to be watching before he got sidetracked by all this dead fish.
Okay, man, I can't help it.
Yeah. So
And
Tyrath, you
with
walk
his
into the room and you start
3 hands
shoving some in your mouth.
wiping the
Okay,
orc
so
slobber
Tyrath
off of
is
his
actually
shoulder.
going to go full on into the room, right?
Nice.
And
Okay.
he's actually going to grab one of the. He's in his haste. He's going to get his claws. He's going to go like try to reach for a couple of these fish in the front, and he's actually going to grab the shelf while he's in his hurry to scrape them off.
Uh-huh.
And he's at 18, 14 over 100 strength, so I'm figuring this is probably doable with an old wooden shelf, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get that shelf in a good grip, and he's just going to rip the whole damn thing off and stumble backwards.
Oh, and he's just. I guess he's a bit gluttonous. We have a fault, a character
Well,
fault.
not just a bit gluttonous. At this point, he hasn't eaten in a while. He's an
Oh, yeah.
orc at heart. They're like ridiculous carnivores.
Yep.
And then on top of it, this smells ridiculously good. So
Akron, you can go in if you want. You see Tyrath. He went into the room and you start hearing some clutters and bangs and you hear wood breaking.
I started hoping that you guys did not want to do this stealthily.
Hearing all this,
guys are all-
I will call out. I won't move because I have to defend the flank and whatnot. But I will call out. Is everything all right?
You hear
Tyrath. Go ahead.
You hear several orcish and dwarvish curses as he is trying to get this fish off the shelves, and he just keeps breaking pieces of the shelf because it's so strong.
Oh, and Tyrath, when you
Are you really
you
that
actually,
ravenous?
when you actually tried some of the eel was the delicacy.
Oh, I can imagine that actually.
And whoever,
He's not exactly at this point his baser instinct has taken over, Ian.
well, let's make I'll give you a con save
That's what I mean.
to see that you can kind of all of a sudden snap out of it in a sense, right?
This is exactly why you should not do trouble with half orc.
They do have their ups and downs.
Hey, look at that.
So,
I beat it.
Tyrath, you kind of do the frozen moment, and you got like a fish rack through one arm, and you got your leg through another fish rack somehow, and you got 3 fish in your mouth, and you got a couple eels under your arm, and then you stop, and you're like, oh, right, oh yeah, right. And you hear Akron call out, "Is everything okay in there?" And that kind of snapped you out of it, so to speak.
In my complete embarrassment, I actually almost go blush almost black. And I actually shrug my backpack down my good arm, my right arm, and I try to dump as much of this fish into the backpack as I can.
Quickly. But you did notice as you destroyed a couple fish racks, and Akron comes into the room, and he's looking around the room. And Akron, you do notice, Tyrath doesn't, there is what was normally obscured, it says here, by the fish racks, is a locker and a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do I notice the locker now that I've destroyed this as well and calmed down?
yes. Now, Akron's noticed it first, and he's kind of going toward it carefully.
Making sure
It seems to be a weapons locker, an old one, like a dwarven weapons locker, an old one.
Ooh.
And there's stairs going up to the top floor where you know who is.
Dwemer goods. Do I see any arrows in the locker?
So you open it up. Seems intact. It's actually fairly decent shape. It's weathered, definitely, but it's dwarven make.
Where's Malik at the time?
What I want to do is kind of standing to the side of it, not directly in front of it, pop the latch and swing the door open.
Okay, nothing happens. And you kind of peek in and you see a whole bunch of rusted and old weapons. They seem to be more or less corroded and wrecked. A quick inventory. There's 5 light crossbows, and you might be able to get one functioning, as cannibalizing other parts or whatnot. You could, if somebody needs a light crossbow, and there are dozens of quarrels, and you figure you probably could get 40 of them working. There's probably a couple hundred, but only 40 are still workable. And the ladder leads up to a trapdoor in the ceiling.
All right.
And unfortunately, there's no arrows.
So amongst all the weaponry and whatnot, I'm assuming there's crossbow bolts.
40 quarrels,
Okay.
bolts, yeah.
Those are probably too small for me to knock in my bow.
Oh, way too small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably quite handy
other-
for the
but-
crossbow, isn't it?
Yeah. Anybody good with this type of weaponry?
Anyone proficient light crossbow or
Nope.
crossbows?
I'm a short bow guy, unfortunately.
Well,
I think only me and the ranger are the only two that are actually proficient in bows. Or wait, no. Technically, the monk can use a bow because of being a multi-class. Annie.
so Vama, you've been watching this. You almost chuckled a bit as you watched this half orc
What can you do, you know?
covered in fish and trying to eat him from under his armpit and trying to stuff him as many as he can into his backpack. He's going to smell, by the way.
Right, Vema has been trying to maintain an eye where the half-orc had failed in his duty there, while having the other eye kind of like near enough so if something happened that was untoward, or at least his
Right.
ear towards that other room, if something. But other than
Well-
that, he's focusing most of his attention on that stairwell.
Right, and the
Don't-
staircase goes down, as I said, steeply. You haven't gone down the stairs yet, and you're always keeping a lookout for traps and secret doors and whatnot. I'm assuming that. So
I mean, within
they
reason.
finally get their act together. They tell you they found these crossbows and they found a locker and there's a ladder going up. Now, Tyrath,
Mhm.
you suddenly the thought of this ladder going up to the roof where this creature thing was
I guess we're
kind of
that-
sobers you up pretty quick, and you kind of lose your appetite a little bit.
Yeah, that would be about right.
Yeah, and you finally stop doing that and grip your weapon again, and all of a sudden you're in warrior mode. And you also realize as a cleric that this must be like some undead spirit of a former occupant, a dwarf. And you sense that this thing has some internal duty up there. And I don't know whether it would be your responsibility or right. I don't know if you I don't know if you'd want to destroy it or not. Is what I'm getting at.
Well, so here's the thing: Tritherion's his god, the god that he worships.
Yeah.
He desires to liberate those that are enslaved, and if this is a ghost that's enslaved to this tower, he would have an overwhelming desire to liberate it and set it free.
How would you determine that? I mean, aren't all ghosts that are still visible on the prematerial plane somehow or another enslaved?
Yeah, so basically he now knows there's something up there, so he's probably going to, his first thought about this, even though he's a little afraid of it, is that he needs to either drive it off through turning it, or he needs to go up there and kill it.
Oh, we're going to have a discussion about the necessity of slaves, aren't we?
Yeah, you two will actually have some food for conversation.
How high does this ladder go?
The ceiling's only about 8 feet, and so the trapdoor is right there, and
So
you just have
I'm
to
tall
push
enough
the
to jump and
trapdoor
grab
up,
it.
and it opens upward, the trapdoor, right?
All right.
And playing, you open it.
Well, no, I don't open it yet. What I want to do is nab a couple of these fish off the wall, since I don't trust the bemaddened half orc to actually share, and stuff them in my pouch, because I think that my loyal follower would appreciate that. It's a nice treat for her.
It's-
And I want to move silently up the ladder and not so much open it, but just kind of, get a crack in it, and I want to look around and see what I can see.
Okay,
I just want to remind you. I just want to remind you guys that whoever lives here, which somebody obviously lives here, we have just officially burgled them.
kind of thrash their
We just
pantry.
we just did a bona fide break and entry, and we burgled them.
Well, you didn't thrash the whole pantry. There's a lot of fish in there, but you did.
On the plus side, though, we didn't commit theft because theft implies threat. So
Hold
You
on.
broke open their door and you moshed into
Tell
their
that to the half
drying rack.
stuffed his backpack full of fish. But
And-
anyway,
just saying.
Acheron, you push the door open a bit, and you right away get this cold sensation of fear emanating from the roof, and you peek and you grin and bear it. You look around and you can see this dark, shimmering shape seems to completely ignore you, and it walks back and forth. Now you right away close it because you felt this surge of fear coming over you. Like if you stayed longer, you would probably have to make a saving throw.
Right.
Or something.
So I will come down, inform my comrades that, of what I saw and felt. I will also take a gold piece out of my pouch and place it onto one of the shelves to pay for the fish that I took.
Where's the monk at this point?
The monk is outside. He's rear guard. He's outside. He would be outside the door, original entrance, rear guard.
Gemma wants to make sure of that visually.
Okay, yeah, he's there. I moved him there. So he's kind of crouched inside the alcove so he can carefully watch if somebody's coming. Now you sensed... Oh, no, sorry. So you felt that this creature on the roof it completely ignored you, and just kept watching his eternal sentry duty.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
now,
you guys know that.
You have to roll 6-sided, please, Vama.
All right, can do.
Okay, Vama, on the third from last step, there was a cleverly put little tripwire that you failed to see. And you clip it.
Mm-hmm.
At the foot of the stairs on the opposite wall across from you, something shoots a crossbow bolt. Now, it's a heavy crossbow mounted at the foot, and this coral is shot at, and it has a chance of scoring as a 2-hit die monster. It has a Thaco of 16. So what's your AC?
You're kidding me, right?
No.
I mean,
your AC was that 7? Yeah. So this thing needs a 9.
No problem.
And this also, you heard it, and right away you're like, oh, too late. And this flash, and I rolled a 20. Now, it's not a creature or anything, so it's not double damage, but it's definitely a hit. And it does, 5 damage.
I'm down.
500 damage.
You guys hear a subtle sound, and you hear this kind of grunt and, this cry of pain coming from down the stairs.
Oh, Tyrat's going to go into action here. He's going to rush, and I'm guessing he's going to see Vama on the floor.
With a crossbow bolt through his throat, yeah.
He's crumpled on the stairs.
I'm gonna knock an arrow and come to the top of the stairs.
Well, this is where Vama shines. He's gonna lean over your body. He's gonna say a prayer in common to his god, and boom, you're gonna heal 8 hit points.
Now, were you in negative hit points, Vama?
Yeah, I was watching -1.
Okay, that's bad. Because that's going to take you... Okay, how did we do that again? You're actually unconscious.
And you were saying it was 1 hit point per round until he hits negative constitution and then he dies.
Yeah, and then also you can heal him 1 hit point a round.
I was brought from hit points 4 to hit points -1, with an arrow apparently sticking.
Well, how does that work with magical healing? I was under the impression the moment the segments are done, magical healing automatically heals all damage because of the way it's not natural. So
and you're right, and that's something we've come across the first time now. And I'm just thinking, because I had rules about getting negative hit points. It gets tricky, and you got to watch if you're go too deep. No, you're right. If you cast a magical heal,
it should just straight up automatic for him. He should just be immediately healed for 8, no matter what hit points total he was at the time. The question is, how many rounds were you down before I got to you?
Up to the GM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we gotta wait for Darren to get hits back.
Okay, so you invoke the. Okay, we'll go with that for now. I'm going to research that a bit more because I know it doesn't quite work that way in the DM guide. If you're negative hit points,
Let me I'm curious myself. I'm gonna look up as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chime in here from a Dungeon Master's perspective. I don't think that Cure Light Wounds works with characters that are below 0 hit points.
no, that's the problem.
I hate to say that.
I know, and I recently read that. And I posted a bunch of stuff about this as well, and I'm pretty sure the best you can do is get into 0 hit points.
You perform triage of some sort and get him to where he's at 0, and then you cast a Cure Light Wounds on him. You need Cure Serious Wounds, I think, for more than negative hit points.
Yeah, and then I had it down now. Gygax has it. You get a hit point a day back.
Gygax never figured out exactly what he wants to do with negative hit points.
Yeah, that too.
I'm trying to see where damage and negative hit points and all that is in the DMG. This is why
because Cure Light Wounds is technically light wounds, and once you're brought down below 0 hit points, it's no longer a light wound.
Yeah, you're unconscious. You're down.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick. Hang on, let's see what it says. Because that does make sense. Because if that's the case, then that spell is basically useless at first level.
Well, yes and no.
Maybe and maybe not.
I mean, it's useful. I mean, it still heals people, but he just happens to only have 5 hit points, or 4 hit points.
4 hit points. I'm at -1 right now. I think for, what I would do is just perform the triage. Don't worry about Cure Light Wounds. Stop him from losing hit points, which means I think you just perform first aid. Like,
okay. Hang on, I got our answer, guys. Any character brought to 0 or fewer hit points and then revived will remain in a coma for 1 to 6 turns. Thereafter, he or she must rest for a full week minimum. He or she is capable of any activity other than the necessary to move slowly to a pace. Blah 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 blah. This is true even if cure and or healing potions are given to him or her, although if a heal spell is bestowed, the prohibition no longer applies. So yes, you can cure light wounds on a person with negative hit points.
But you got to wait for me to get out of a coma, so that could take 1 to 6
Well, no,
rounds.
because I used a cure spell. You don't go into a coma for 1d6 rounds.
No, I thought you just read that you do.
You do, but only if you use potions. If you use a healing spell...
Oh, because he's not able to consume potions because he's unconscious.
Yeah, I'm using a healing spell. It says if you use a healing spell, the prohibition doesn't apply.
Okay, all right. We'll go with that.
I mean, that's straight from the DMG. I mean, we can fudge it later if we want to play Wareham Household.
Yeah. No, I know it's a bit tricky, and sorry, anybody's watching this. Yeah, anybody's watching this. So a heal spell will actually bring him back to...
He'll back to full hit points.
Full hit points.
Yeah, that would bring him to full. At the rate that he did, like 8 hit points. Right?
All right, we'll go with that at this point, and you extract the arrow, which hit him square in the friggin' abdomen and dropped him painfully. Big, ugly arrow. Somebody had rigged up a trap, quite cleverly, had obscured it behind a screen of hangers and plants and whatnot. And it's dark down here, too, even with your elf vision and whatnot. It was still a very dark, misty place. So anyway, Vama, you take some breaths and stuff, and suddenly this pain is gone in your chest, and you're looking up at this ugly half-orc smelling like fish, and with fish guts hanging out of his mouth and his teeth. But he's got his hand on your chest, and he's like deep in this heavy chant, and you're just like, I'm alive. And
holy shit.
And it's just like, holy, I saw everything flash before my eyes and the whole bit. And you see now that it was quite a simple trap in some ways, but very cleverly hidden.
It's always the simple ones that get you.
And effective. And there was a big scare there. Acheron, you're kind of watching this all from the back, and holy cow.
Can I take a bio on that? Is that cool?
You guys want to take a short break before we check this door? Now, we're not going up on the roof, I'm assuming. We're going to stick down here for now?
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, we're all down here. We might as well explore what we're nearest.
I shouldn't have gone off on my own, damn it.
I do have a quick question. I did kind of zone out for just a second answering a message.
Okay.
What did we rule on dying, just for future reference? On the unconscious/dying rule?
Go ahead, Kyle.
The way it works is the rules that we're using for dying. If you go below 0 and nobody gets to you in the for each round you're down, you lose 1 hit point until you reach
the rule.
Score in negatives, then you die. If you take a cure spell and it brings you back above 0, you immediately are able to act again.
Okay.
If not, then
so
you're incapacitated for a week or so.
Yeah.
So we're ignoring the -10 and the rest, for X amount of 1d6 rule.
No, the 1d6 roll does not apply to healing spells. But if you use if I was to cram a potion down your throat, you would be still in a coma for 1d6 rounds.
Well,
it specifically says healing spells are not do not have that prohibition on it.
Okay, well,
plus, and what he's wondering as well was for every round that you're dying, you lose a hit point if somebody's not attending you. So that's where your Constitution bonus kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm referring to is back in the days when I was still playing, first edition, the rule was when you're down, you're bleeding out, and you lose 1 hit point a round. Once you reach -10, you're dead.
You're dead.
Even if you receive magical healing, you're brought back up to stable and at 1 hit point, but you're basically out for 1d6 rounds.
I'm telling.
And then after that, you have to rest.
But what I'm telling you, per DMG page 82, this is true even if cure spells and healing potions are given to him or her. Although if a heal spell is bestowed, the prohibition no longer applies. I mean, that's straight. I mean, you look it for yourself on page 82.
Okay. No, and I remember reading that as well, and it is a tricky rule, and I know DMs often modify it and stuff. I modified it subtly. If you noticed, my ruling is subtly. You do get a Constitution bonus on the amount of rounds you can go before dying. And if you die,
Vama anyways, he is average Constitution.
Right.
But still, he was brought to -1 hit points, and within 1 round or 2 rounds, the cleric was able to administer triage and healed 8 points of damage, which brought him all the way technically back to full because he only has 4 hit points.
Yeah.
Because he used a heal spell, he's not still in the coma and needing all the rest.
Right. So, but are you saying that my hit points are at full or at 0 and I now need the rest? Okay.
Yeah, you should be at 4.
I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, and that's why in D&D you get cast only a couple spells a day. Is at low level, but
that's why having a high prime casting requisite is always so fucking important to have that additional 1 or 2 bonus spells.
Okay, so let's move on. We had a bit of a crisis there. He was lucky in the fact that we weren't in combat or that he fell down a hillside or something, right?
Or he got to find him.
The Half-Orc was close enough to
fall into the swamp or something, right? So there's going to be situations where, you think you're getting off the hook, but if you don't have somebody there to help you, you'll go down. And if a monster does more damage than you have, we won't go there for now. But
let's see, it's the way that roll reasonably is if it ever does enough hit points to bring you from your into the negative immediately to your
negative hit points.
Equal to your current hit points. It's an instant kill, no matter what.
Yeah, right.
So and also down to -4 hit points on 1 hit.
So it was close. That was critical. And Tyrath, Vama owes you 1. I'm going to take that bio right now, though.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. So 3-minute break, everybody. And we're getting through these rules. First couple sessions, I like it, though. We're hacking them out. That's good.
Let's we'll establish the baseline for points, by our action.
Yeah, and we may have to modify a little bit if it's too easy or something. Wow.
Well, like I
Thanks,
said,
guys.
I think the reason those rules are written that way is just so that people who take Cure Wounds as their first level cleric spell don't get fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and that's true. I mean,
I'll be right back.
Okay, guys. Yep.
Whoever started their microwave, you're not on mute.
Do what?
Whoever just started their microwave, you're not on mute.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to mute myself. I didn't realize you guys could hear me from across the kitchen. Jesus, this mic must be really sensitive.
I'm back. Oh, damn it. So the negative hit points thing is still something that we need to get sorted.
Well, it's already paid off bringing that cleric in, eh?
Well, Vama would be dead if it weren't for
Yeah,
that anyway.
and I'm going to double check that stuff, but I recognize that what he found there.
Okay, so it seems like there's a couple of maybe this isn't the time to do it. We're still streaming, right? So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
we'll get this sorted out later. Where what we do when somebody's brought into negative hit points, and incidentally, the person brought into negative hit points loses 1 hit point per round. Correct?
Yeah, unless they're given aid.
Well, the
Like,
thing
he
is that
was
the
there
half
right
orc. Yeah, but he was doing something else, occupied in another room. It would actually been he would have lost a few rounds there somewhere.
Yeah, no, you're right. It extracted himself from the fish racks, but he did kick in right away when he heard that grunt of pain and drop. He said, "I move."
Well, thank whatever gods are available that he was listening at the time.
Yeah, I remember he had
Nonetheless,
snapped out of it a bit. He was sort of coherent at that point. I felt, but he did potential. Now remember, you only have 4 hit points right now. So if you take 9 points damage right now, you're dead
anyways. No matter what. Negative to be brought to -4, right? Is the thing.
Yeah, so it's important we get some more hit points on your characters. I suppose it's this game. AD&D is just
it's not going to happen.
I thought you were down.
I've already gone I thought I was down too.
I was like, yeah, but then I thought I remembered something about that. Like spells actually, it's powerful, eh? Those heal spells, clerics. You think a cure light wounds isn't much, but man, it can pull you out of the dark. But if not, you would have been out for how many turns and days?
It'd be done. No, it doesn't matter because I'd be losing a hit point per round, and then I'd just be
unless you're given aid. No. Read in the DM guide.
I know. But still, I'd be a liability to the party. I couldn't really do anything.
For now, and that might happen in this. We'll have to deal with it. That's part of the challenge of this game as well. And
well, it would have helped if Guy Gax had put a clarification for that in the DMG when he puts all the clarifications for spells.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that's one of the quirks of the old 1E.
Yeah.
Well, how amusing! It would have.
Yeah, thanks
for the clarification. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
So now,
it would help me clarify the rules from the beginning.
Is Ralph here yet?
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. So, Dave's back. David, so we had a bit of a situation. We had a character go down.
Yeah, I've been here.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Darren, I'm gonna step away to get this tea, but I can still hear everything going on because I'm just gonna be in my kitchen, which is right next to my computer.
So what is Vama's condition for roleplay and everything? Like he's at full hit points and like he's not feeling pain or anything?
It's amazing. Walk around.
It's amazing. He's just like he's feeling this hole in his shirt, like it's this hole still there. There's still blood on him. He bled and he's just still amazed. He's just like, and he's looking at this half orc, and the half orc is kind of chewing on another fish already, probably.
I'm completely baffled. This is the first time that Vama has ever had a healing spell cast on him, ever. This is actually the first time that he's ever been wounded. And this is the first time he's ever had decent relationships with anything close to a half orc or a cleric. Okay, it's too much information overload here.
Yeah, well, you would have a moment, I suppose. It would be a.
And he helped me for no good reason.
Well, how about that? Yeah, it changes a person, I suppose, right? Somebody gives you CPR, you wake up, and it's like, oh, How are you doing? And he's quite nonchalant about it. This half-orc named Tyrath, he just goes back to eating fish and waiting for you to go to the door, I guess.
Never gonna
And
figure these guys out.
Brother Merrick and Akron, you guys watched this scene and were quite impressed, and you could sense the magic energy and the power emanate from this cleric. And apparently he's been telling the truth, and he's the real deal, despite his gluttony and uncouth manner and his appearance. Don't judge a book by its cover, the old saying goes. Brother Merrick, do you want to add anything? Do you have... Oh, I think he's talking to somebody else, maybe. Okay, how about Akron?
I will congratulate Tyrath. Job well done. And look over at Vama and ask how he's like. How are you feeling?
Fine.
All right, you good to continue?
Yeah, never felt better.
All right. You need to sit down. Just say something.
Yeah. What was up there in the room? Huh?
You mean at the top of the stairs?
Yeah.
Or the ladder?
Yeah.
Oh, that dwarven wraith is up there. I don't think we want to go up there yet. Not until you're at least, a little bit. You got a little bit of your wind back.
I'm okay. What about the room there with the fish? Anything?
We found some crossbows with some bolts. And,
which means that whoever lives here, where are they? And I look kind of down the stairs with one eye.
He does mention that the bolts and everything were old, like they had sat probably for decades.
What about the one that just hit me in the belly from this wall trap?
That one's
new. We may need to get him a tetanus shot.
This thing is new.
I saved your life just in time for you to die of iron poisoning.
Fucking hell.
All of a sudden he gets lockjaw.
Lockjaw, that's right.
Vomit can never talk again.
But you can look at this. You can look at the bolt or the arrow that hit me from a spring-loaded trap in the wall, and you can see clearly that it is newer than the stuff that you found in a weapons locker upstairs. However, the dried fish is probably also new too. Just because it's dry in here doesn't mean it's not mildewy and musty, right? So somebody lives here, and that crossbow wasn't theirs, but this trap is. That's what I'm saying. Which means, where are they? Velma would say, where are they? And
I'm guessing they're beyond that door. Before I head down, I want to do a visual check, make sure that tripwire is, good and tripped and not gonna.
Yeah, is it snipped or something?
No, you just triggered it. Once it's triggered, it has to be reset by somebody. It's not like an auto load or anything. And it's simple. It was a very simple system, but very effective. Whoever put it here was very clever.
That's putting it mildly. Effective.
Yeah, why though? Here's the thing: is that, and this is Vama speculating with open mouth. Why is?
My guess would be somebody's using this place as a base of operation.
Right, because of the Phantom.
Yeah, and as to their intent, that's something we can only speculate. They may be, refugees, or people, hiding from someone, not trying to get caught. They may be bandits. This is like their secret hideout. At this point, we don't know. The only thing we can do is continue onward. And
no, that's not true. That's not true. Let's move back up the stairs a little bit, shall we?
You want to backtrack?
No, just move back up the stairs so whatever we're saying isn't heard.
Oh, right. I'm still at the top of the stairs, so.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like, as Velma, I would like to suggest something. Merrick, you come with me. That we will go back across the wall and down over the side, huh? You two come down the stair. At the same time, let us see what is. Let us meet. You see what I mean? We will go over the wall, outside the keep, and see if there is somewhere there.
Okay. Before you do that though, I mean, I can sneak down there, without making a sound. Try to, maybe get a glance through the keyhole in the door or something. Try to see what we're dealing with on the other side.
Whoever is here knows we are here.
Right, but they don't. They just
What,
we
they
just went
lock
up.
themselves in the corner? They're going to put their back against the wall? No, they have a way to escape, don't they?
I suppose that would be true.
So we
All right,
check the
we'll
escape.
go with your plan.
Let's just check the escape route first, huh? Then we come in
Okay,
and
go
close
for it.
in.
Everyone else concur or have any options?
And the reason why I'm choosing Marek is because he's a monk. We're also very, very light. Neither of us are wearing armor, so we can hop over that wooden fence and drop down into the sludge to see if there's any way to get out of the keep from the outside there. But we're not carrying any armor. We
Go
have
ahead
nothing on
then.
us, you know. That's,
you guys go outside in the courtyard, and Acheron and Tyrath, you guys go back down the stairs, right?
We'll just wait. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Acheron, you're ahead. You go to the bottom of the stairs, and you're going to do your thing. You're going to listen and just try to get a sense. Right? So do
And
you
if you
have
guys hear
noise
anything,
or
bust in.
anything like that?
Yeah, basically, I move down. I'm not gonna move silently. The noise will keep them focused on the door. If there is anybody on the other side of that door,
Yeah.
give them a better chance of sneaking up behind. But I just want to kind of, do the whole Bruce Willis up against the wall, listening at the door thing.
Right. Now you can see through the keyhole just barely. It's pretty dark in there. Not too bad, but you can make out objects. Hard to make. They're kind of shadowy objects, not moving or anything. There's nobody talking, or you don't actually smell anything like smoke or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing else. You can't pick up anything. Do you actually have a hear noise ability or anything like that?
No, I don't have any like heightened
Okay.
audible senses or anything like that.
So while
But,
you're doing that, the other two went around and went up to the 6-foot wall, and they can easily hoist themselves up. And you can look over the side if you want. You can actually do that. And I'll get right back to you there, Ralph. Give me a second. So I'll move your character, Brother Merrick. You actually can look over the edge, and I'll grab Vama.
Right.
And
So
you
the
guys-
idea would be, because we're the most, I think we're the most limber.
Now it goes steeply into the water. Like it's steep.
What kind of drop is that? How many feet?
Probably about 15.
Can you swim?
And it's not even really swimmable. Like, well, you could struggle. The vines are so thick, and you get a bad feeling from them. Frankly, I don't know how good of a swimmer you are, but it would be very difficult to move through this biomass.
Would that be okay for me to move my own figure?
Your token?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How about crossing over at this section here? Oh wait, if that can be possible, let's see.
I texted her to give her heads up that
So yeah, you can go to the wall. Do you have climb walls?
Yes, of course, I'm a thief.
Yeah. So go ahead if you want to try climb around. You might fall in.
The monk also has it.
It's very slippery, and it's a straight up roll. Like
Okay.
freaking hard.
I think it's
you-
willing. I'm willing to
Okay.
risk that.
So-
I think that'd be the best way to do it, or at least to grab onto whatever we can to move down and peek around that corner to see if there's any other way to escape that edge right there. And if there's not, then we'll just climb back up. But the idea is to see if there's
Well,
any
you'll
other.
have to make a roll if you want to go that far.
Right, that's just the intention.
Okay.
I have a climb walls of
So,
86%.
Oh yeah, Merrick, you're watching him, and you could go as well, or you wait, or I don't know what you want to do. Go ahead. Is he AFK or is he muted? He's kind of looking off.
He may be talking to somebody.
Oh, okay, David.
Right.
Buddy, he was asking you a question. I don't know if you heard him.
Sorry, I'm talking with my son. I'm going to need a minute.
Oh,
Oh, we
okay.
figured you were.
Yeah, we thought so. Okay,
No
so
problem.
for now, he's shadowing you.
Vema will make the attempt, though, and climb walls, or at least be able to grip as much as he can
Yeah,
onto
go
the...
ahead. Go make the roll. I'm going to go back now to Acheron. You can't get anything else. You've been here. You think you've given those guys enough time to maneuver around the back. Who knows, really, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
A success, by the way.
All right.
59.
I want to. So yeah, we time has passed. We're sitting here. I can't really see anything on the other side of the door. I want to test the handle as gingerly and as quietly as I can, just to see if it's like locked.
No, it goes down and clicks. It's dwarven make and seems still to be working, and that indicates that it might have been used recently. But it's not locked. It clicks. The actual door clicks open. Click. You're like, ooh.
All right. So I'll just open it just enough to keep that latch from catching, so that we can simply push the door when we need to. Yeah, very silently. I want to knock an arrow, and I look over at Tyrath, and, well, let me ask you this, Tyrath, like, I'm giving you a good look over. Are you a cleric, or, like, are you a fighter, multi-classing, paladin? Like, what do I get from you?
Well, Kyle.
He's opening this door. Did we see anything? I apologize. I'm doing 8 things at once, including this.
No, I was asking you, are you like cleric, paladin, like just looking you over? Like what kind of fighter do I believe you to be? Like, are you up front melee, or are you throwing spells?
No, I'm clearly a cleric.
Okay.
I carry a lot of the trappings of a cleric.
Right. But you said that you had like 4 different weapons on you?
Yeah.
and you're like kicking doors in and shit, so I think
He's
so I would think
front end guy.
Yeah, I would think you could handle yourself in melee, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna look at you and say, orcs first.
Okay. This is going to be like a Leroy Jenkins moment, I think.
No. The door swings open.
Just don't yell it.
No, not quite that bad. Actually, he's going to, since he's got the door partially open, Darren, where it's not latched, he's going to take his shield and he's going to push the door open, leading with his shield.
The door swings open, and you are met by the gaze of a horde of diminutive beasts. They're all poised to leap as to strike. You brace yourselves, but surprise turns to relief as you realize that these are lifeless wooden statues carefully arranged around the walls of this damp room. On a table lies a half-completed carving, surrounded by shavings, but of the sculptor there's no sign. Could you roll, the 2 of you roll 10 percentage die, please? 100-sided.
By the way, Darren, in the split second between when we walk into this room and we realize that these are fake, he's going to scream a battle cry, thinking he's getting ready to get in a fight.
Right.
Leroy!
Okay, Acheron, I'm going to give you the percentage roll. He's sort of focused.
19.
18, you said?
19.
19, okay. So, yeah, you see what you saw, nothing more, as does both of you. And he strides in the room with the shield and gives out this orcish cry, and you do see that it's a dwelling place / studio. There's wooden carvings everywhere, and you instantly recognize that they're very similar to the statue that you guys left at the tree. They range and they're very lifelike and accurate. And there's little bird statues, and there's porcupines.
Okay. I'm not completely ruling out that these things won't come to life on us.
Right.
So I'm keeping my arrow knocked, and I'm still gonna let the orc go in first.
Yeah, so you stride into the room. Now, back Vama. You successfully are climbing around this wall, and it's slippery and tricky, but you're doing your job. Now, Merrick, you're watching his back, and could
Looks
you
like
can
Eric's still engaged in a conversation.
yeah, okay. Now you do see that there is a low archway in the back. You see that, Vama, right?
Okay, so that is a low archway.
Yeah, and you hear this
Approximately 5
orcish
feet
war
across.
cry. Ah!
I was gonna say they should hear that at this
Yeah.
point.
Right.
You hear Tyrath, you could tell he's in the room right there. And you peek around the corner and you see him, and then suddenly you see this large creature kind of surge up out of the water, and he's in this kind of syllabic voice, kind of goes, "Stop! Leave my statues!" And it's
I
this,
aim at him.
and he crouches low, and he's
Wait, he
kind
comes
of
up out of the
behind the.
water?
He's behind the boat.
Like
And he's
I'm that close to
creeping
him?
You're about 20 feet from him.
Okay.
So hold on, I can put him in here a minute.
Like there's not 20 feet of space, is there?
Hold on.
All right.
Now he's in the water. He's behind the boat. He's got cover, and he sees the archer, so he's down low, and he's behind the boat. And he's got a weapon in one hand. You can tell.
What type of weapon?
It's like a trident.
Okay.
And he's looking at Tyreth and what appears to be a mixture of fear and anger.
Okay. Aiming, still aiming at him. This time, at this point, my bow is fully drawn. I will say, I am Acheron Stormsword, last surviving brave of the Phazon clan. Identify yourself or get ventilated.
What that guy said.
Oh, wow. He kind of gives out this hiss. So, Acheron of the clan. Who's your big friend? Tell him not to harm my statues.
What I tell my friend depends on what you do next. I asked you your name.
Vama's going to call out, look behind him really quickly, and go, "All right, lads, he's here. Don't come forward. He's okay." And have short sword out in one hand.
Yeah, this guy, he gets low in the water now. He's you can't shoot him now. He's behind the boat, but his fingers are still there. And he goes,
I can hit fingers.
I be Swilbath. Swilbath be me. You're no muck dwellers.
No.
You be outsiders, foreigners.
Call us what you will. Fact of the matter is, we've got numbers. Okay? Now, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? This is my place. Tower. Swilbash Tower.
Are those your traps? He's speaking in common tongue, yeah?
He is.
Okay, good. Are those your traps?
And he looks back over toward your direction. Maybe. And then he kind of slowly rises up a little bit more. You put the bow away. Swilbath, talk.
I will... I'll release the tension on the string, but the arrow will stay knocked, stay in shafted. And I'm not like all the way lowering it. I'm just kind of like half lowering it so that at a moment's notice it'll be up again. And I look at him.
He gives his tongue slips out in and out a few times, and he, in that syllabic voice again, he's kind of, yes, why'd you come here? Why'd you come in my home?
The reason we came here is for us. It's not for you to need to know. Now, I asked you what you're doing in this tower. What are these statues?
He looks a bit confused now. And these are Swilboss statues. I make them.
What?
And you see he kind of slowly gets cautiously out of the water now. And you can tell he's a rather large lizard man. And his form is rippling with muscle and whatnot. He moves with like an easy grace, quickly slips out of the water, and kind of squats on the edge of the platform, cautiously watching your bow and watching the big guy, the half orc. And he's sniffing with his tongue out. You know, muck dwellers. How did you get by as the muck dwellers? And the dark one, he points up.
I'll hold up my bow.
Is Velma being watched? Sorry, if he's not being watched, he wants to move silently until he can get.
Oh, he'd see you.
Oh, he would. He's
totally.
like really on guard. Okay, well, I want to move to a point behind that boat there, anyways, to make sure that it's clear to him that there is somebody at the escape route.
Oh yeah, and he's looking confident though. He's just got watching you guys, and he goes, "How you get by muck dwellers?"
I'll just kind of, hold my bow up and just kind of, wave it jauntingly at him and say, "Skill."
And
just
big
skill.
Points at the half orc. This one. I smell he's been into my fish.
Oh.
Not
I will say I left payment for the fish in the room.
And he looks surprised again. And he seems to be relaxing a little bit back on his haunches. How many are you? What do you want here? This is my home. And he kind of goes toward a few statues and he kind of caresses them fondly. Like, it's weird. And you realize now he does have some webbing on himself. And you realize now that he looks remarkably similar to the statue that was at the tree.
I'll ask him, I'll say, why do you make these statues?
I love the animals. They speak to me. I create these so that I can beautify this place. And he's unlike any other lizard man you've heard of, obviously.
Yeah.
He's got a strange quirk, and he goes up, and you can see he has carving knives on his webbing and stuff. They're crude, and he sees he's adapted like dwarvish coral heads and stuff into clever little carving tools and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's got like leather chaps on and stuff, and it seems he's been here for a long time. There's a lot of statues, and it seems quite homey in here. There's an area where he eats or whatnot, and he's set up that pantry and he's set traps, and apparently he doesn't like the muck dwellers for some reason.
How deep is the water here at the point where Vama is standing?
I'm not sure actually. That would probably be
it's got to
deep.
be at least got to be at least like 3 or 4 feet because
There's a raft floating in there or some sort of dinghy, right?
yeah, there's a boat in there. So
Actually, that boat is actually sunk. It's resting on the bottom. It's not deep at all. It's about 3 feet deep.
All right.
As I was saying,
That boat's about 17 feet long or so.
So I can stand clearly, like with water maybe up to my belly, or
Yeah, but he's watching you guys cautiously, and he's like, so you don't take statues?
No,
And he
we
seems
have not.
kind of. Go ahead.
No, I was saying we haven't taken any of your statues. We haven't touched them.
wait, Vama's gonna sheath his sword, which was out, short sword, and sheath it. So both hands are clearly open. The lizard man. I can't call him by his name. I'm not that dignified to call a lizard man by his own name. Yet.
Swilboss.
I mean, I don't address lizard men in first person.
He's a good artist.
Apparently so.
Now,
What do you mean
Tyra,
statue? Did you carve that one? Did you carve a statue of yourself?
and his head instantly turns toward you with this keen look. You have it!
I know
Where
where
is
it
it?
is. We know where it is.
And
Recognize you now. Recognize you now.
Oh, it's him. He carved himself. Ah, that's my favorite. My favorite. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? He's kind of eager now. He's kind of hopping up a little bit. He goes, you have it? You bring it for Swilwath.
No. But we know where it is.
The Muck Dwellers had it.
Mm-hmm. They do.
They recently pissed me off. About 3 days ago, they stole it. And I went hunting for them. I got 2 of the little rascals. The rest keep hiding and running from me and playing games. I miss my statues.
How much is the statue worth to you?
And his eyes light up again, and he seems a bit confused. It's my favorite statue. It means very much. If you bring it back, I will let you stay here for 1 day.
1 day. We need a week.
No. Cannot do that. Too long. Swilbash. Can't move in.
I'll step in. I'll say, Swilbash, listen. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead, return my arrow to the quiver, and kind of keep my bow slung under my arm. And I'll say, listen. I understand, having, X number of people. You don't know how many. We're not gonna tell you how many, but having us just come in here, to your home, possibly going to wreck the place up, leave it a mess. I get that, but I'll make you a deal. All right? We'll go get your statue. We'll retrieve it. We'll bring it back. And we'll even take care of the wraith that inhabits the upper floor. We'll do that for you. All we ask is that you let us use the courtyard out front as just kind of a base of operations. Just for like a week or so. It's not too long. We won't mess up the place. We'll keep it nice. We'll keep it quiet. And you can come and go as you please. We'll even help you catch some fish. I'm a ranger, man. I can fish.
You may stay 1 day, and you will not disturb the shadow. He must stay. He keeps the Muck Dwellers away.
Look, Swilbash, baby boy, look. I'm trying to work with you here. All right? But you got to give me something. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of quid pro quo.
For the record, Ralph,
okay.
Arshon is starting to get looks from Tyra that's saying you are biting off way more than you can chew with some of these promises. We won't destroy anything, really. He's not sure you should be the one speaking for us.
He says 1 day.
I'll be like,
you have 1 day. I feed you.
Same team.
You stay here in my home 1 day. You help get statue back.
And
I also will tell you about some things in the valley that will help you in your journey.
Okay, but we need more than a day, man.
No, he says he will offer them food and shelter 1 night only. That's it.
And
he seems adamant. He's getting agitated.
I'm like, all right.
It's this guy's place.
All right,
this guy owns the
cool.
place, right? I
don't know about owns, but he's
I can't
squatting.
telepathically communicate this, but he's squatting the lot, and he's been here for a while. We've already come in. We've already kind of roughed up his place a little bit. There is an advantage to not doing anything about that phantom, because as long as that phantom's up, it was hard for us to get here, which means that it is safe. We might as well leave this guy as safe as it can be, right?
Yeah.
So we don't. Okay, fine. It's his place. It's his roof. It's his phantom. It's his doorbell. We just need to be able to stay here long enough to get some decent rest, get our spells back together. And we can show him where that thing is, but he's going to have to come and get it.
Okay.
That statue? Those dwellers are all around there. We're not going to go and just fetch it for him. No way. But if he wants to come with us, we can show him where it is.
Yep.
Right, but that's what I'm trying to worry. I'm trying to get on more time.
He doesn't have that time any more than we do, though. I mean,
yeah, that train's left station. He's doesn't like that at all.
I don't think he likes us at all, actually.
Probably
Well-
not, frankly. Well, but he's curious that you're strangers. He's never seen your kind before, and
Well, I mean-
he's always dealt right with this valley. He's been trapped in this valley or
Right.
whatever, and he's made the best of it.
Okay, how far away?
Well-
As a side though, hold on. How far away was that tree with the statue in it? I mean, is that like several miles or half a day?
Yeah.
Or what are we looking
Yeah,
at?
it would take you about. Yeah, it would take you probably the rest of this day and into the darkness. He'd probably just get back. It was about 4 o'clock. You kind of know the way, and this lizard man knows this valley quite well, so you would make much better speed. It would probably take you till about 10 or 11 at night when you got
Okay,
back.
so we've got a bit. This is out of character. We've got a bit of a standoff here, guys, because he's only going to give us a day. He doesn't have that statue. It's going to take him half that day or 3/4 of that day to get the statue, which means we've blown it. We've already blown it. Unless we somehow or another go get that first before we start making any agreements with this guy. If this guy wants to come with us, then he might as well be walking into an ambush. We could kill him and take over the tower, right? So he's probably not going to come with us.
No, he'll come with you.
My
really?
character is not about the ambush, but I will say this. You just said, we know where the statue is. He doesn't. He's been unable to retrieve it.
That's
If
correct.
he wants us to help him, then he's got to do a little give and take. We also have an asset that we have yet to leverage.
Okay, well, I'm moving
on?
this forward, okay? We got to make up our minds and do this. Are you going to help him get the statue or not? And he's made his offer. You stay for a night. You leave the next day early. Adios.
We can get the statue in the morning.
And he'll give you valuable information. But you got to go get it now before it gets dark. You'd have to leave right now. You'd have to book it out there. If you moved as a
I
large
leave it to
group,
the group.
I would assume if you're a
We'd have to.
formed up group, I'm going to assume that you guys could just do it and move there and back without an incident, frankly.
If we can do it as a large group, then let's do it. Because there's
Well,
a
the
bunch
muck
of those
trailers
muck
won't
dwellers
threaten
out
you.
there.
You've killed enough of them. You've killed quite a few of them. They've
I think we should
felt
do
your
it.
sting.
Get the information. We've done enough to this guy's house.
Yeah.
We
So
kind of
let's
all-
move this
Hey,
forward.
guys, let's be fair. The half orc has done enough to this guy.
Well, royal we.
I owe the half orc a favor, so I say
So
we do it.
it's okay. So push or shove. You guys can attack him as well.
No,
too, I
we're not
guess?
going to attack the lizard, man. Man, he's all right.
He hasn't given me a reason to kill him yet. I mean,
Okay. And he
The
seems
more-
a quirky character. He's actually, you should read up in this module. He's actually quite into character.
He's artistic, and that alone gives him a little bit of.
well, like I'm sitting here reading. I've been reading about this god off and on as we've been playing. He's also the god of retribution.
Oh my. So Swilbosh is his name, and he's been here a long time, years and years. He's lived in this tower, right? He seems quite confident too. Like he's tough. He's bristling with muscle, and he wouldn't be a pushover in a fight. Put it that way.
Okay, well, Vama will say, okay, we will help Svilbosh. We know where the statue is, and even if we have a chance to describe, there's a large tree in the marsh, about half day's travel from here.
Ah, I know it. I know it well.
This
Yeah.
is where it is. We can go get it. Yeah. We can go retrieve it. But first, we need to rest. We need to rest.
And he's jumping up and down now, rubbing his hands. I reward you. I reward you. Let's go, quick. Rest later. It'll be dark. We don't want to be caught in the dark.
Look, this guy's not a cannibal. He's not gonna. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We outnumber him. Trust me. If he tries to give any shady business to us, he's done. He's alone.
All right.
He's obviously alone.
So he seems quite at ease all of a sudden, and he kind of stands up, surprisingly upright, and he goes, quickly, let us go. And he goes, watch the bottom of the stairs. There's rigged it. Ah,
Yeah, we know.
where's the body? Ah. And he's pointing at you guys. Clever, clever. Watch the pit outside. And he goes outside and points as you guys go past that covered pit. And he goes, try not to look up when he's going past underneath the gaze of the shadow. Don't look at it. Think happy thoughts. And he sprints, he scoots off ahead fast. Hurry, hurry. It'll be dark if we don't get caught in the dark. Bad.
What is a happy thought for a lizard, anyways?
And he seems, yeah, quite eager and happy and really wants to get his statue back. So you guys go and you travel for about, and he makes great progress and he cuts off areas that you thought were, anyway, he gets there in about 2.5 hours. And the muck dwellers have been hidden and gone, and in fact scattered since you killed a bunch of them. And you retrieve his statue. And he is, of course, visibly happy and elated about that, and he kind of cradles it and stuff, and he looks at it, Swillbot, Swillbot, and he holds it beside his head, Swillbot, and he points at it, and he jumps around, capers a bit, and he goes, quickly though, back home, eh? I give you feast. And he hasn't looked in the room. You guys closed the door behind you, I guess, of the pantry. It's like,
Yes.
you'll find that little nest later. So he sets a fast pace again. And you guys spend another 3 hours getting back, and you just get back as night falls. And this guy puts on a hell of a feast. And he forgives you. He's in such a good mood. He forgives you about the thrashing a few of his racks and wrecking some of his food. He'll have some work to do, I guess, whatnot. But he's kind of looking up at, yeah. He's kind of eye to eye. He's a pretty big lizard man. He's big.
Was there any chance that we could have shown him the corpses of the few muck dwellers that we knocked out?
God dang it. Sorry.
No, that's a good call. And he's even more impressed when he realizes that you guys have been killing muck dwellers. Filthy little traitors. Yes.
We've taken like a half a dozen of them, haven't we?
And he grabs one with him and he cuts off like one of its tenderloins, and he's going to cook that later. And when he gets back to the shed or down into the basement there, he's very happy. And I reward you. I said I was going to reward you, eh? And he hidden under the floor, there's a slab, one of the dwarven masonry slab. He cleverly had it hidden, and he pries it up. You're not sure if you would ever found it. It was so well hidden. And he pries it up, and he reaches in underneath, and he pulls out this kind of ragged bunch of leather bag. And you guys have now kind of gotten to know this guy a little bit in that short amount of time, and you've kind of let your guard down a bit. He doesn't seem to be a genuine threat. He seems to have a lot of food, and he seems to be happy making his carvings. But anyway, he pulls open this leather bag, and you guys kind of you can't help yourselves. You kind of huddle forward to look, and it explodes. No, I'm just kidding.
Not funny.
Yeah.
You realize it's a silk bag. Pardon me. There is this green glint. It's a beautiful. Now, Vama would probably recognize it. It's a huge emerald. Like a huge emerald. It's like, it must be bigger than your thumb. Like your whole thumb. Just a big, beautiful rectangular emerald. And it just catches the light and sparkles in all your eyes. It's like one of the prettiest things you've all seen. Besides that Remoraz egg, that was pretty impressive. But this is an actual piece of wealth. And he goes, I do not need it. It's yours now. I have my statues again. And he gives that ludicrous grin, the lizard man grin. And you guys sit down and have a feast. And he breaks out, surprisingly, he's made some sort of weird wine from some local, distilled it from something, and it's passable if anybody wants a drink. And he brings out some eel, and he kind of gives a shrug, and there's a bit of a frown when he looks in the pantry, but he shrugs again and comes back down. He says, so you've met the muck dwellers, but I know there are some newcomers to the valley. And if we quickly look back to our valley map, I'll get us back there.
We got to apply this guy for information about how to get out of here.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at our map, he describes the valley, and he says, behind us on the east side, on the slopes, the old stairs, they go up. I don't go up there. It's too dry. But I do know the forest is dangerous. There is a strange creature lurks therein. I do not like to go in there. And I fear the trees.
What do you mean fear the trees?
I've heard animals getting killed in there, and when I go to investigate, I cannot find other tracks or anything, and the trees just loom about you. I do not like them, and it's kind of rambles on a bit about it, but he doesn't seem to have more information beyond that, besides some mysterious creature that lurks in the forest, in this area or in this either part of this forest. The river, by the way, the river pours into this end of the valley, and then it kind of becomes this huge swamp. It gathers in this lake, and then the lake drains through the forest, and on the other side of the valley, the mountain curves around, and it narrows. And it appears there's a pass that goes on the east side. That might be a way out. But he mentions that there is an ancient mine that the dwarves had centuries ago or whatever. But he says somebody's new there. There's some humanoids have moved in there and have fired up the mine. He's smelt the coal burning, and he's heard the clang of hammers coming from there. But they're not dwarves, he says. He says there's some foul, smelly humanoid things.
Kobolds, goblins.
Yeah, something like that.
So he doesn't know that much about he doesn't know anything about the stairs then. I'm curious, I'll relate to this to the other party members, but you see, we really can't cross that lake over there. I'm guessing that if we go up that one stair, there may be tunnels inside that can bring us down the other stair. If that's a way to go, I mean, otherwise we're going to have to cross through miles of swamp and marsh to get to the other side of the lake.
Yeah, that's a good observation, everyone. And everyone sort of can nod to that. It's a good chance. Why would there be two stairs and then they both go into the mountain and not be connected?
This is old dwarven area, you know. I mean, one would think that this was maybe a trade area of some sort. If this is dwarven construction, this tower as well, it served a real purpose. I've never known dwarves to build frivolously.
And the valley has been flooded. Like, it was drier when the dwarves were here.
Which means there may be stuff underneath that lake.
Possibly, too, yeah. But you guys talk into the night, and the lizard man is surprisingly a good host. You find yourself kind of, like I said, you feel yourself safe and at home in this ironic situation. He has this funny kind of laugh, and his tongue is always flicking out, and he loves food, and you guys had a few drinks, or he lightens up, and he brags about his statues. He brings a few special ones down, and he shows you that he's been carving the animals and stuff that he's observed in the valley.
That's it. What kind of? I mean, we've been here in this room for hours or whatever. Is somebody got a fire going at least? So we're not just like combating the murkiness of this room.
Yeah, of course. He's a good host. He's okay. He breaks out this old brazier and has some coal and whatnot and gets a brazier burning and such. He shies away from it a bit.
What about these statues? Is there anything that we recognize as being familiar creatures, or any ones that we recognize as being extremely unfamiliar, or is there anything unusual about any of them, aside from the standard flora and fauna?
There's 2 muck dwellers. There's a bloodhawk. There's 3 hobgoblins. And he points, these are the ones mining. There's 2 snakes, there's 4 crows, there's 3 deer, a hedgehog, 2 wild boars, a bat, 2 dogs, and a couple of almirage. And these are interesting creatures. Almirage, anyone know what that is, by the way?
No, I don't know. That's one of the few monsters I've not heard of, or if I have, it's been a long time.
It's basically a large rabbit. Pretty large rabbit, like big rabbit, probably about 40 pounds, 30, 40 pounds, with a massive horn coming out of its forehead.
Jackalope?
It's in the Fiend Folio, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's Fiend Folio.
And you're looking at this statue, you're like, what? It's a rabbit. You've seen rabbits before, but it's got a horn. Is this thing real? And he's like, yeah. They're down the valley. Long ago I was there, but now I don't go through the forest anymore.
Where did you come from?
Hmm. I came here as a tadpole. Up the river. I recall, I think. He's probably 20-something years old for Lizard Man that's getting on. He seems wise, though, and capable, and even somewhat charming. I've never played a Lizard Man like this before, but the module has him written up like this. It's quite interesting. So, anything you wanted to ask him or talk to him about? He's kind of given you basically a lowdown of, he says he warns you about the forest. There's some bean in there, and then the forest itself has dangers. Well, of course. And to the west side of the river, there's these new inhabitants in a mine, and he says that might be a way out as well. He says that he's pretty sure those mines go through that little piece of mountain there. So you could go that way, he says, if you, like, you guys kind of said that we're trying to get out of here, right? I'm assuming. And you guys pass around this emerald as well.
Well, and if he's feeding us, I will eat anything that anyone else cannot finish.
Nice. And he keeps bringing food. He's just impressed, and he eats it. And you guys have an eating contest, and he's impressed.
Honestly, like, can I outdrink a Lizard Man?
Indeed, his home brew. Roll a Constitution roll.
I can do it. Let's see what happens here.
Okay, I
don't have any allergies. He's probably made it out of muck.
Dandelions or something. Dandelion wine. I've had dandelion wine. I've had sticky nettle wine.
Darren, I did fine. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you kind of greatly impress him. He rolls a 10, and you both don't make asses of yourself or anything. You're kind of a bit veteran drinkers, perhaps, but you definitely tie one on a bit, and you find yourself kind of bonding with this Lizard Man a little bit, Tyrath, despite your reservations. And you all
Mom might actually even lean forward a bit and say, "Hey, watch yourself, man. We have to get out early in the morning."
True. It's starting to get late, too. It's getting near midnight. And
I'm not aiming to get so drunk that I start singing old orcish war songs or something, but...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Keeping poor Vam up while he's reconstituting his spells, yeah?
That's true. And there's not much room in this tower. This is it. Like, there's no other rooms, just the pantry and his abode. So you're welcome. He's pretty generous. It's a pretty large room. You're welcome to set up any little place, and you're welcome to stay till late in the morning, and then you got to move on. He's been pretty adamant about that, and you guys agreed to it, I suppose.
I think so. Is that what you guys want to do? I mean, like, really, if we can just get some shut-eye and regain a little bit of wind.
Vama. If you could roll a Vama, a wisdom or intelligence check see if you can evaluate that emerald.
Yeah, that's handing itself around.
Yeah, and you're all, yeah, it's beautiful. It's like, you're like, how did this guy get a freaking emerald? But he says he just found it long ago.
Whether intelligence or wisdom, it is a success.
Okay, you estimate this emerald could be worth over 1,000 gold pieces.
Where did it end up when it was done being passed around?
Merrick?
Who was the last person to touch it?
Yeah, he's got the itchy fingers.
Oh, don't be so acquisitive, monk.
Is David here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, David. Yeah, I'm not sure. You were kind of the quartermaster last time. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I'm just writing things down. I don't claim to have possession of any of it.
Well, you all know it's there.
Right. There's a nice big fat emerald. It looks very, very nice. And I think that the ranger should hold on to it for being such an eloquent and charismatic leader.
Mm-hmm. No, and you guys handled that well. I mean, I had him poised for a minute there, and he jokes about it too himself. He says, for a minute there, I thought we had a scrap, eh? And he hits Tyrath on the shoulder. And
look at that. You've got a drinking buddy now.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, that's a good thing. That's the question.
Half-orc lizard man, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, man.
You guys...
how you feel about me?
As long as this guy's happy, yeah. Well,
And-
yeah, if that's the case, we can get a few hours of shut-eye. I think the Rangers should hold on to that emerald. Just pocket it. Don't worry. We'll break it up later into 6 little chunks if we have to.
Mhm.
And also, you guys get 1,000 XP divided. Those are party points.
So 1,000 divided by 4 would be 250 a pop.
Yeah.
Which would further split to 125 apiece for me.
Yeah, that's right. And so everyone jot that down a minute. And
You tabulating that on that master sheet?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Do we have an exact value on that emerald? Is it 1,000 or?
it is.
Okay.
And he's like, he shrugs. You guys are just like, wow, you gave this to us? And
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. You know.
he just shrugs.
I want to check out that rooftop sometime during the night, though.
Do you have time, or do you get?
As long as I can get a little bit of rest. You know. But I would like to do it surreptitiously if possible. If any of my fellow party members are savvy and awake, I'll obviously gesture to them. But I want to be able to do it without that lizard man knowing, if possible. Kind of hoping that they're drinking a whole lot.
Oh, he's been drinking a
I
lot.
can move silently.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I want to wait until like late into the evening, conserving my own energy. Velma doesn't drink alcohol, so.
Okay. Okay, you get to the ladder. You sneak up there. The lizard man's kind of snoring away. Him and Ty Wraith are spooning over in the corner. Just kidding. You get to the ladder.
Hey, lizard
And-
birds we love too. I'll never forget that.
That's true. The two of you are at the ladder, and you're like, look at each other, and what do you want to do?
Go up and pop crack open that. I'm assuming it's a trap door, a flat trap door with hinges.
Okay, now in night, you see something a little different. You can now not see through this being. In fact, the being has substance. It looks like a dwarf, kind of like a spooky spectral dwarf still, but it's solid. You can't see through it. You can see much more features, except the eyes are dead. They're just kind of empty sockets. And this thing now, it turns its head and you can tell it's going to look toward the hatch.
So it looks like it's sentient. I mean, it's actually doing some sort of observation type motions. It's not just robotically moving.
Yeah. Okay, it now looks at you in the hatch. And you have to make a saving throw.
Right.
And you get +2.
All right, versus paralysis.
Yep.
Let's see what we got going on here. Save versus paralysis, petrification. Okay, so +2. I have normally a 13.
Yeah, so
I
you have
rolled
to roll 11.
I rolled a
Or-
12, and I get +2, so that's 14. Made it.
Okay, so you felt like for a second there you were going to break when his eye contact met, but then he briefly looks and then he assumes his sentry again. But he seems to be moving a bit more. He seems to have a bit more personality, if I may say. But yet it still seems to be this rote spiritual being stuck in this pattern, even at this point. And it is it's called a shadow, this being, this creature.
Phantom.
Phantom, yeah, pardon me. It's in Monster Manual 2. And
All right, so if it ignores, like it makes that eye contact really quickly, and Velma feels the chill going through.
and you
its entire
realize
body.
you would have ran, you almost broke. You would have
It almost broke, but then it goes back and ignores Velma.
you. And you still have the hatch open and ignores you.
That's what I was counting on. So Velma wants to get onto that rooftop.
Yeah, you slip up.
I don't know if I'm being foolhardy or not, but I want to
And
see
then-
what else is on that roof.
The creature now seems to be ignoring you.
Mhm.
You seem to have passed whatever.
Right. That's what it seems to be, that its thing is it'll try to frighten you once, and if it doesn't, or if it does, regardless, it just goes back to doing what it's doing. So there's a little bit of a calculated risk, but
Yeah.
I want to see what else is on that roof.
And I'm just looking to make sure, but nothing's been on this roof for a century or more. And to your chagrin, you can find nothing but a couple discarded rotting weapons. And that's it. There's nothing on the roof. It's windswept with some creepers and stuff, and this lone sentry marching back and forth in this somber, eternal duty. And you took a good look, and then it's dark out. You can't see very far. You can just see the edges of the valley and such and so on, and you can hear cries of animals in the night and whatnot, and hear strange sounds in the water. And you guys retire back and get the best rest of sleep as you can.
Yeah, closing the trapdoor behind, and if possible, bolting it.
Yeah, but yeah, nothing there. And you did not run away in fear. Yeah, it was risky, but you come back and everyone else is kind of still sleeping. He did reset that trap, by the way, but he warned you.
Oh, that bastard!
And he seems confident that he seems safe. Actually, he's got it made here as long as that phantom's up there.
But he doesn't, because those mud skippers, they came in and stole one of his statues, didn't they?
That's true. They did get in somehow.
Is it?
But he killed a couple, and you guys killed a few. So, but he's pretty happy about that. He's like, yeah, I'll get them. He keeps muttering once in a while. I'll hunt them all down. He seems.
I wish we could give this guy something to help him on his own, like vigil, before we leave. We should probably leave before this guy gets up.
Light crossbow. But he's got a little trident there. It's kind of effective harpoon-like trident.
Yeah, I don't know if a weapon is the best thing to give a guy like this.
Yeah. All right, so you guys rouse yourself the next morning. Not too crazy early, or if you in particular, but you want to get going. You want to use your time up well. You're not sure when the next time you're going to be able to have a safe place to rest for the night. And you guys played this little scenario correctly, and it's actually meant to be a safe haven in this module if you play it right. But it's very specific. It says he insists on you guys leaving.
We can do that. I think that we've been fair, haven't we?
Yeah, and he's giving you some hints and kind of, there's a way through the mountain there. You can go through the pass. He goes, the pass is it's watched by the forest, he kind of muttered and vaguely, and you guys, oh, okay. Which seemed odd, but you'll take that as a good clue.
Our other option is to go out and go through Moria. I mean, the Dwarven Mine.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't seem to know anything about that. He says it's too dry up there, which is a good thing,
Yeah, and he seems to be telling the truth. He's just like, I don't like heights. I like my swamp. And he seems quite content.
Is it weird to say that I kind of like lizardmen now?
I know. This guy's growing on us. Damn.
Got to be the coolest encounter with a lizard man ever.
Duly noted.
In Dungeons and Dragons history.
I'm so used to lizard men using clubs to beat me to death.
Yes, modules, these UK series has a lot of quaint moments like this. They do stuff like that, so just so you know.
All right, that's fair. So we should probably get out of this guy's hair. You know what? I'll bet he's hiding something, though.
Probably. Yeah, maybe. But he gave you that emerald. And
I think that's a good payoff.
Oh, man.
He gave us that emerald to prevent us from ransacking his place.
Yeah, maybe. And
he's obviously intelligent and he knows what things are worth.
Yeah, and he
trusts us more than we trust him.
Maybe. But the next morning, again, he's a good host. He puts on a good breakfast and seems happy that his statue's back. He's so happy about that. And he's still muttering about getting back at those muck dwellers and so on, even as he leads you guys up outside onto the courtyard. And you give your farewells, and he's like, yes, and watch the forest if you go there. And good luck. And he waves you guys off. Now, you'll have to decide. I'll bring us... Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll look at that map, or you probably are. And
what's the ranger's name, real quick? Sorry.
Acheron.
Now, can you guys play for another hour?
I can.
I cannot.
Ralph. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to bounce. I have my niece calling me, so I have to go.
I see. Well, that's okay. Kenner, do you mind if we play a little bit more?
No, go right ahead. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could have. I was gonna actually, if you duck out, I may have Swillboth come with you guys for a little while.
He comes wandering in from nowhere.
If Swillboth wants to come with us, well, what do we want to do? I mean, I'm voting for going up those stairs and going around. It looks like if you go up one, I would guess they're connected somehow inside of the hill.
Yeah,
looking
probably.
at that image, and I think that we might be best to just go up and then come in and come back down rather than navigating all the way around that lake. We don't have a boat, so we're not going to be crossing the water. And if we go all the way around, not only are we asking for a bunch of trouble, we're also doubling back, going through Muck Dweller area, and also 2 areas that the Lizard Man specifically said are no good.
Yeah. He says he'll guide you around the lake if you want to go to the west end. Like you just mentioned, that's pretty far. But he'll guide you to the edge of the forest, or he'll guide you to the bottom of the stairs, basically, and he can get you there real quick without getting lost. That big swamp is pretty nasty. Quicksand and all sorts of, there's a lot of dangers you guys have actually managed to avoid thus far.
I'd like to keep on that trip.
Yeah.
Avoiding danger, you know what I mean?
So you guys want to go to the stairs, I'm assuming. It kind of seems...
Well, that's Vama's bid, but yeah. I'm certainly open to other suggestions.
All right, Tyras?
I really don't want to go through the mine, to be frank, but if the rest of the group has their heart set on not going through the pass, I'll follow them.
Well, the mines are on the other side of the lake, right?
Yeah, so there's 2 supposed mines, quote unquote, or tunnels. This one over here, remember Swillboth told you there's some goblins are over here.
Right. But if we go up these stairs and then hopefully potentially down the other stair, we'll be on the other side of the river from that area, which means that we'll be avoiding it effectively.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might be exposing ourselves to all sorts of trouble along the way.
Yeah. So he's eager to get going as well, and he kind of likes to get back to his home and his old ways, and you guys are like, yeah, this guy's all right, and you guys, he guides you swiftly through the swamp in the east side of the lake, and you get to this area where it rises up out of the swamp and the hillside. You notice there's a nice ancient dwarven road that comes out of the swamp, and suddenly you can see the cobblestones and whatnot, and then it comes to a small landing, and then there's these quite beautiful staircase that goes up the mountain. Give me one moment. Just give me one momento. All right, so apparently the dwarves had built this staircase for unknown reasons so far, and it appears to be very artistically done, beautiful. It might not be like access to like just an everyday mine or something. This is going up to some maybe nice place. So it goes up quite a ways, probably about 400 or 500 feet, and it takes you guys about half an hour or so to go up these stairs, and you guys are trudging away, and then lo and behold, they suddenly reach a brief little landing, and there's an archway leads into the darkness.
Okay.
The whole thing seems to be dwarven made, right? I mean, like, there's no...
Mm-hmm. It's a very straight tunnel, goes straight into the mountain. And you guys are quite a ways up, actually. You're farther than I thought. You ascended about 700, 800 feet, and you're near the crest.
Is that what that big black hole right there is?
No, that's the nest that you were dropped into.
Yeah,
down here is where you guys are.
Okay, sorry. I'm zoomed out so far. That's what the problem is. Okay, I see it. Yeah, I see them now.
See those staircases? Yeah.
Yeah, I see them.
So you're on the left one, you're on the north one, and you're you're looking at this hole, and it's quite a ways up, but it still goes quite a ways on, and it seems impassable above it, it's sheer granite and stuff. So you guys can enter. Light source will be needed, though. You can tell it gets dark up ahead.
Again, 2 of us are okay, but I don't know about David. You're playing a human, right?
Correct.
Well, guess somebody. Does anyone have? I don't have torches.
Oh.
Nor I thought there were some torches. Do you have any torches? There were.
Torches.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even buy a flint tinder because I don't need it to see in the dark.
I have a couple of candles, but I don't. Maybe we should fabricate. Hold on. Maybe we should fabricate some light sources. Huh?
Well, we're near a forest, right?
Eric has 2 torches.
2 torches? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's going to give us, an hour's worth of light. As long as we make haste, we're not going to be camping down in here. We just want to be able to get. Let's try to stick to the right whenever possible. What do you think about that? So we can hopefully find an egress on the other.
Now, the funny thing is, you guys enter the tunnel carefully with your torch, and you enter, and you notice the tunnel goes straight, and there's no deviation. There's no doors. You're kind of cursory look for concealed or whatever, but you keep going forward with your torch out, and you notice the tunnel just keeps going further and further into the mountain. It's quite level, typical dwarven fashion. It keeps going forward and forward and forward. There's no deviation. There's no side tunnels or anything.
Here's my bid. If we go through this first torch without finding any indication that this is going to lead us out the other one, we should turn back. What do you think?
I'm with that.
All right.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah,
We'll find another way.
I'm going to suggest the torchbearer be in the middle, whoever's carrying it. And because I can see fine in the dark, I'll go in the front.
All right, then I can see fine in the dark, and I can stay in the back also behind the torch radius.
Yep.
Now, you guys straight, keep going. It's strange. This tunnel just keeps going. And up ahead, it seems you have to light the next torch, and you're thinking about ducking back. You've traveled for about 40 minutes straight. And just as the torch was getting down low to nothing, then you could make out a little light up ahead. The tunnel seems to come into either daylight or a lit room.
I'm not gonna pull my sword out. I'm gonna loosen my sword in its scabbard, and I'm gonna slowly move towards the light because I'm not sure what it is yet.
Yep. Okay, and you move forward now, and you can smell fresh air.
I'm gonna start motioning forward, letting them know that we're on the other side.
And the torch is fluttering a little bit. There's a bit of a breeze coming from the light. And yeah, you move down the tunnel further, and now you can tell that the tunnel actually pokes through the other side of the mountain.
Ooh.
It must, because now as you got about 100 feet from the exit, and you get a little closer, you realize it emerges out into a platform on the other side of the crest. In fact, you emerge onto a wind-swept platform on the eastern side of the mountains. A bleak, squat tower, crafted from the stark rock of the mountains, looms at one end. Its dark windows stare out over the jagged gray peaks and ridges which drop way to the southeast. Perched on the battlements, a flock of sinister crows regard you with bright, malicious eyes. Now, see the cover of module. Now I'm going to bring your characters into another map quickly.
I was going to say, you very likely are going to want to do masking on this unless you want us to see the whole map.
Yeah, hold on a minute. I forgot to... Yeah, there's not much to do. I forgot to hit the dynamics, for fuck's sakes. All right, cat, look out.
Oh, that blanket's getting washed tomorrow. You pulled my blanket out of the chair so he could sleep on it.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Oh, awesome. Much better.
Now, immediately the view is amazing. Now, have you guys seen the cover of the module?
No, I don't think I have, so.
Oh, this is the scene where it's the cover of the module. Now, this large platform you're on is on the precipice. Yeah. Precipice. Thank you. That's a nasty one. I knew it would get me too, and then you get tongue-tied as soon as you think about it. Anyway, these large crows are in this tower. The tower is over here, and it's...
Oh, wait, the lizard man came with us this whole lot, didn't he?
No, he went...
Okay.
Oh, sorry, he did go back.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't like those stairs. He went back. And so far, you guys kind of stop when you emerge a bit out of the tunnel, and you see these large crows. They're big, size of a small dog.
I was kind of joking about that, but that does sound like a dire crow.
And they're eyeballing you guys.
You know, some sort of hellish crow.
For now, they're just perched on the top of the tower to your left and eyeballing you guys, as stated, cold, malicious eyes.
All right, fair enough. How many do we see? Is it a whole murder of them, or?
Yeah, there's about 7 or 8.
Oh, it's okay, boo. Don't get so panicky.
Yeah, they're not going to come into the tunnel. They're not going to come anywhere that they can't fly.
They haven't attacked or anything yet. You guys haven't moved forward or anything yet. You're just...
Well, morbid curiosity is leading me towards the tower, though. So I'm gonna take a not very far. I'm not going super far. Probably about right there. Probably about as far as I want to go.
Grandma's going to ready a sling.
Okay, they give out this cacophony of screeches and caws and immediately swoop down as soon as you moved even closely to the tower.
Yep. Well, good thing I'm going to go ahead and get my sword out. So they begin to, when they start squawking, swords come out.
Now, initiative.
Yeah, if I can drop one with a sling stone before I get close enough to my friend that there's a chance of hitting him, I will do so.
Okay, I'm just quickly going to come up with some...
Do we roll individual initiative, or we do just party initiative and everybody does their own modifiers on it?
It's individual. And then I roll for the crows.
Yeah, we got to roll initiative again, don't we?
They come flying out of the tower into attack.
Oh, I rolled like a champ.
Yeah, let me know what you rolled with your modifiers. So you get your dexterity bonus goes for you, and then of course your weapon speed is against you.
I got a total of 7 with my.
What do we do? Yeah, what's weapon speed for a missile weapon?
It's equal to the. I believe it's equal to the rate of. I thought it was equal to the rate of fire, but I can't remember because they do not list weapon speeds for.
Yeah, no, missile weapon goes first.
Sling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they're right beside you.
They're not. Yeah,
Right.
I'm in the opening of the tunnel there.
And they don't have missile weapons, so you can shoot your sling before they can fly over at you.
I'm going to toss a bullet onto whatever one is available. It doesn't matter. Whatever one I look like I've got the clearest shot on.
Yeah, and you got your shield out and whatnot. Okay, so Merrick got a 2, and
Bema effectively has a 6, but it's missile. So.
And that's a 10-sided, Merrick.
Oh, sorry about that.
And,
Give me a chance to redeem that 1, right?
yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. No, good roll, though.
No, you
good
were
roll.
higher, right?
No, you want to roll low, because this is the order that you go now.
So is the dex adjustment a plus? It should be a minus then, right?
Yeah. You would subtract, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then that should be -1. That should be 0.
Nice. So you will be going first. Now I rolled collectively for the crows at this point because they come as a kind of a flock and then just swarm you guys, and they go right for your eyes, guys. Look out. I rolled a 5. So Merrick, you go first. Briffin's not here anymore. So Merrick.
I thought the missile weapon would go first.
4 of them are swarming around Tyrath.
By the way, yeah, Ian should be going first because he's firing a missile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Ian. Yeah. Good call.
All right. Roll D20 on that, then, yeah?
Yep.
Let's see. So give me 1 second to...
These crows are fairly big, but they don't take too much. AC 7.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Right, so... What? The dice didn't seem to work correctly there.
No, the macros are a bit fudgy.
I'll just do a standard roll. Yep. I get +2 on my die, so...
Right. Yeah, AD&D is handy that way. You can just...
There you go, like that. Oh, that is abysmal. That's a natural 1, man.
That's 3 1s in a row.
Now, wait a minute. Did you say... Hold on, time out. is there some fuck up on the macro where once it gets locked into a 1, it keeps on
Try
rolling once?
roll it again. See if
That's what I'm saying, because we just had
Nope.
3 rolls.
I just rolled a 20.
Okay, never mind. Damn it. Okay, that's just literally 3 natural ones in a row, though.
Now roll the percentage die.
Wow.
Gonna see if you have a weapon break or anything like that.
48.
Nope. And the weapon, no. In this instance, nothing. You don't hit your own teammate or anything. Nope.
So
You're good.
my sling gun just flies, or sling bullet just flies wild. Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, a big whiff. Now, who's next? The crows come flying in, and 4 of them swarm around Tylath. Now, your AC is pretty good, is it not?
Yeah. Tyrath is AC 5.
Okay, so these things need a 1, a 6, a
Don't
5,
you die on us.
and a 3. Well, all 4 of them go right for your eyes, and they try to get into your helmet and peck. Do you have a helmet?
I've got a small helmet, so it's probably more like a skull cap. But I do
Yeah,
have a
they're-
large shield that's pretty easy to get in the way.
So they're ferocious. All 4 of them are trying just go for your eyes, you notice. Now, 2 of them over here attack you with the sling. 11. What's your AC there, Bama? Actually, I have that
7.
here. 7. 7. Uh-oh. That's 13. Oh, it just missed. 13 hits armor class 8.
Don't mess with my eyes. I need those.
Oh, they have a, and it's
Oh, you can play
it's
them blind.
nasty. They have a 10% chance of plucking out your eye
Ouch.
if they hit you.
That's why God gave us 2. Okay.
Yeah, you look snappy in an eye patch. So Acheron's he's gone into another dimension. So the other 2 go at Merrick. I'm just rolling like crap for these guys though. Oh, 17 though. Now I'll roll percentage die.
Use your eyes.
Oh, 26. So, but he does do, 1 does hit you for 1 point damage. Gives you a nasty nick on your cheek. And just twack. Ah! Now you guys can now counterattack. Actually, Merrick, you had first attack before they pecked you.
Yeah.
I messed that up.
Didn't we? Were they better than a 7 on initiative?
They had a 5.
Okay. Just curious. So,
Yeah, so sorry, Merrick, go ahead. And if you kill this one, he doesn't get an attack on you, I'll say, if you do manage to kill the one trying to peck your eye out.
That was me. I'm sorry. I had to step away again.
Yeah, Merrick, there's 2 that attacked you, and I forgot you had initiative, so I'm going to say if you actually kill one, it won't have an attack on you. I'll roll 50-50 to see if you get the one that just did 1 damage on you.
Okay, I'm just going to roll D20. I'm not sure what modifiers I have. I'll look them up. Okay, see, now that's getting kind of squirrely, isn't it?
I'm gonna start using real dice. Is that okay with you?
I have been
I'm not trusting
actually.
the macro.
Yeah, that's weird, but well done.
God, wow. What are the odds of 3 1s followed by 2 20s across 3 different players?
5%.
Now you
Not
definitely kill the one. I think these things have only they have 2 hit points each, so you definitely killed that one with the 20.
Okay.
And it's dead. So
We'll be testing, so you can ignore.
Yeah. Now I'll roll 50-50 to see if you take that damage. And you do not, so you don't take that. You killed the one that pecked you. That would have pecked you. Now, Vama. These 2, they're around your guys' head and attacking you guys.
Wait. I got to skip completely here.
Say again?
He's getting ready to go back to your action. I didn't get an action.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and take your action first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know what I'm going to do. The bastard sword is going out and trying to kill something.
Oh, God. Well, you got plenty of clearance, at least.
Yep. So these crows are flooding around you.
Good God, I rolled like shit. Nope.
So you whiffed on them?
Yes, I did. I rolled a 5.
Oh, dear. Who's next? Now it's Vama.
No,
I'm near enough to the entrance to that tunnel, right? I thought that I had just gotten out of the entrance to the tunnel, so there's a platform, and then there was the doorway to the tower.
Yeah, you're right where your guy is. Right there, right?
It wasn't showing. It shifted over to the other map, but I'm just going by.
Oh, sorry, I'll bring us back. Yeah, I was going to show. That's the cover I was talking to you about.
Right. And those are the
guys?
jackasses that are trying to poke our eyes out. Hey, look, there's me, there's you, and there's you. Sort of.
It's exactly.
Right. So what I want to do is, while I'm making a mad dash back into the tunnel, I would like to get my short sword out. And what do I have the options of doing there? You see what I mean? I want to get into the tunnel because I'm suspecting that these things don't want to keep on attacking me if I'm inside of an enclosed area because they're crows. Birds don't like to be indoors.
We'll see.
I'm hoping, but at the same time, I want to get that short sword out, and I'll start flailing madly at any.
Okay, well, they already attacked, so they can't do much about that. So you just back out. That's your movement.
Yeah.
And you pull your sword. Okay. Anyone left?
He's the first in the initiative order because he's using ranged. So we're back down to Merrick, I think.
Yeah, we're at the top of the order again. So, Merrick, do you have another crow in front of you? And Vama backed into the tunnel. So far, the two that were attacking him, I'll roll to see what they do shortly.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to take down the other one.
Yeah. Are you still using roll 20?
Yeah, 13. So
seems like it's normalized itself.
Yeah, that was a little weird there for a while.
Do you have any attack bonuses?
Let me double check. I want to say it was a +1 to hit, but don't quote me.
Actually, you rolled a 13, you said?
Yes.
That's just a hit. That's what you needed to get, armor class 7.
Yeah, there's no bonus.
You did hit it. It has 2 hit points. So how many hit points damage do you do?
I do a minimum of 2 because it's a D3 +1.
Oh, so you killed another one. You're grabbing him out of the air, crushing him and smacking him. The feathers are raining down.
Excellent.
Nice job.
I like the sound effect. It's all like cheep, cheep, cheep.
Yeah, that's got the eerie mountain peak sound effect. Yeah. So
I like
next,
that line from the crow when he goes caca caca bang, I'm effing dead.
Yeah.
Cheep, cheep, cheep.
So Merrick's holding his own. He's got 2 dead crows,
No better
and
than a fighter.
now the crow's turn, and 2 more. One goes at Merrick, and the other one goes at Vama.
Oh, so he's flying into the tunnel. Oh,
Yeah.
That answers that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and these 4 are swarming him. So I'll actually roll on here. Okay, so that's
He's gonna hit me once.
okay. So 1 got you with the 18. I'll roll a percentage die. Ew, this is kind of creepy.
We'll have no missing eyes this day.
Okay, yeah, no, fuck that. He did not get my eye.
Nope,
He
10%.
got
He
your
definitely did not. But he hit
He
you
did
for
your
1 point damage, though. He managed to clip your ear or something. Ah! Gave you a nice nick. And that's those 4. Now 1 attacks Merrick. Oh, wow. Okay, so you get a free attack on him, Merrick. And and your armor type, that might hit actually. 14.
Yeah, AC 10.
Yeah, the one hit Vama. Your armor class is 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it needed a 14. So did you roll for your attack, Merrick? You get a freebie. I'm going to give you a freebie because he rolled a 1. He just got in your way, but you couldn't grab him.
Miss.
So I'm rolling percentage for the eye la ball. Oh,
Someone else die!
he scoops your eye out of your head.
No!
Ah!
Cure my wounds now!
And swallows it. Gulp, gulp. And you're just, it's just scooped the eye out of your face. And it's brutal.
Well,
Oh my god.
I'm going to tell you guys now, I'm not that kind of cleric.
Oh.
Ow!
Ow, I just thought about what I just said. I'm just like, oh.
Thanks, pal.
Oh. Well,
I don't have regeneration yet.
no.
You weren't invited to play just for a little Schadenfreude?
Oh, man. So You're still able to react, though. So now it's your moves.
Vama go.
Ah,
No, it should be me. I should be the last one up. Always.
Tyreth.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, you
So I'm
both
gonna take
tied.
another. Well, no, because Vama goes first on missile weapon.
I'm not using missile now,
He
but I
doesn't
do
have
have a short
missile.
sword, so my,
Yeah, but
my
your
speed
initiative will come in next round, though.
Copy that.
You're supposed to, in first edition and second edition, you're supposed to roll every round based
Every
on what
round,
kind of spell you're using.
Yeah, you're right. We're supposed to be rolling initiative every round.
Good fucking lord!
Is it? Yeah. See, that macro's screwed. It's just rolling ones.
It's rolling. That rolled a 4. That's twice in a row. I rolled a fucking 4.
4. I see. Yeah, right.
Yeah, if you hover over the number, it'll tell you what it rolled and everything. That's twice in a row. I've rolled a fucking 4. Jeez, bloody! I have to crack out roll dice here in a minute because this is starting to piss me off.
Ooh, miss. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes roll 20.
That's one of the things. That's why I like Fantasy Grounds, and you guys have probably seen it a little more with us playing on Fantasy Grounds. It's a hell of a lot. Like, it's nowhere near as schizophrenic. It's really, truly random.
I'm going to use these bad boys right here. So you see that? That is
So
going to be my trusted
now
one.
that I've missed yet another bird, it's your go.
See this? Oh, eyeball gone. Ow!
I'll tell you what, Bob, we'll go back to the lizard man and get him to make you a wooden eye.
No, I don't want to go anywhere near that.
You look good in an eye patch.
Yeah.
But I won't see it out of my blind side, so how would I know what I look like?
Ian, on the plus side, Vama can now worship Grummish,
I worship Odin. Come on, let's go.
the one-eyed god.
Now, okay, sorry, I lost track there, initiative and stuff. So, but we still have Vama still has to go.
Short
Well,
sword?
no, because we do the top of the new initiative. If he switch into melee, everyone should probably reroll their initiatives because technically.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm rolling for the birds.
Right.
So
Rolling the real
that-
die here.
I got a 6.
And that time I rolled like crap. I got a 10. I'm going last probably pretty much all the time because I'm using such a slow weapon.
Yeah, that
I got
is-
2, and then I subtract my dexterity of +2, so 0.
nice. Vama 0.
You're moving
Yeah.
on.
Team dex.
You're moving
Sorry
quick.
about the eyeball, man.
Does the eyeball make me lose dexterity?
No, but it will affect something. I have to look that up. It's in the DM guide.
You-
God.
Well, you're
Like, it basically just removes all bonuses that I normally have for high dexterity with missile fire.
I'll have to look. It's something similar.
Somebody's going to pay. I'm going to have a raven as a familiar. An eyeball-eating raven as a familiar.
Nice. He's going for the other eye, by the way. He liked the taste of that one.
I don't want to hear it. Short sword, initiative of 0.
Go for it. Yeah, you got it. You can swing at him. He's flooded
Okay.
in your head still, face.
I think I need a 14 to hit him.
I never thought I'd fear crows. Oof.
These aren't crows. These are supernatural. These are abnormal crows. Okay. I think I need a 14 to hit him, right? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Armor class 7, you say?
Unless you have any
19,
bonuses.
baby. Oof.
He's dead then, right? He has 2 hit points.
I do 1d6 damage.
Okay,
No
so
hit points.
you gotta roll.
You
I
laugh.
killed him automatically because I have +3 damage.
I've got no bonus to damage, so I do 1d6 with the short sword.
Go ahead, roll damage.
I killed him automatically. 2 different
Okay,
ways.
you spear him, man. Like, he goes down in a flutter of feathers, but not before he made his mark, so to speak.
Ha ha.
Brutal.
How many? We're still in a solid melee though. There's a bunch of them still.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So now we have it's the crow's turn, and they're still fluttering around Tyreth, and
Yes, they are.
I shall quickly roll.
Oh, hey, wait. How much damage did I take?
1.
I took 1 point of damage. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, they all miss on Tyreth.
Hard to hit.
Must be nice.
And the one on Brother Merrick, that might hit. He's armor class 7, you said?
-10. Or, sorry.
Wow.
It is AC 10. Sorry, I was saying negative. and
Right.
followed by a 10.
Oh wait, were you letting him take his dex bonus on the AC or no?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I did.
Okay,
I
then
can't
that would
find
be
I legitimately can't find anything in the DMG about blindness or missing limbs or anything like that. Of course,
Okay.
shittily as that's designed, I'm not surprised.
Right. So you don't lose an eye. You take 1 point damage, Merrick. Boy, that's brutal. 1 in 10 chance. Now it's your guys' turn. Any missiles? No. We already done that. No spells. So that would be Merrick. This one that just gave you another peck for some damage.
Okay, how's everyone look on hit points? That's the question.
7.
I look very first level.
Wow. Merrick, was
I've
that
got 3 hit points.
I got a group I'm a part of on Facebook
Okay.
while you're doing all this, and one of my friends posted this thing, and he's like, how many hit points do you have left? The DM's like, you can't know that. He doesn't know how many hit points he has. Okay, how messed up do you, on a scale of 0 to 15, how messed up do you look?
No,
I'm missing an eye, and I'm in a battle frenzy. I don't realize that I'm missing an eye yet. I just think that I'm so gashed on one side of the head that I can't see out of half of my side.
Now, Merrick, you don't have a weapon in your fists, right? So you can't fumble that. Okay.
Breaking
Tyreth.
Next.
Tyreth,
You're
gonna
last.
continue trying to kill these damnable birds around.
No, I never.
One more time with the roller, and if this fucks me over, I'm going to real dice.
Yeah, I would almost recommend doing that.
Jesus Christ.
Did it help?
Went to a 6?
Just flailing blindly at these
Some
things.
improvement. Okay, everybody declare what you.
Ever.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least you're just flailing blindly in a literary sense. I'm literally flailing blindly.
So everybody decide what you're going to do this round, and then roll your initiative again for me.
I'm going to stagger towards the nearest the living crow, which is near Brother Marek.
Mm.
And I'm just going to stumble towards that one and greet it very aggressively with my short sword. As long as I'm not going to get in the way. I mean, if they've got so tight a melee that I don't want to hurt Marek, but I'm going to go for it.
Go ahead, and depends what you roll. I got a 12 for the birds. They're kind of a bit upset. You've killed 3 of them.
I
This
rolled
is
the
initiative?
best I could roll. I'm still going on a 6.
Is this initiative?
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, just waiting for initiatives.
Oh,
The
5.
birds got a 12.
That's another
So they're-
1 for me.
Nice.
No, I think it's wonky.
Yeah, I don't know. It's roll 20, but it's random in its wonkiness.
Yeah.
Anyone else? So I got everybody,
I got a 5.
and that was who was that?
No, 7. Sorry. 7.
That was okay. So you guys all beat them. Go ahead. And the first person was Merrick, who got a 0 again. So he's first. Go ahead, Merrick. There's one in front of you. Vama's coming up. He looks like a fucking out of a nightmare. There's this big black, red, bloody hole in the side of his head.
Throw me a 20, please. Can you roll me a d20, please? Because I don't like this.
You want me to roll you one? I'll roll you one. All right, here we go. I'm glad you trust me. Thanks, man. A 3.
Well, that's not going to do it.
Hey, at least it's a real roll. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a 1 or a 20.
Go ahead, Vama. You see Merrick. He's flailing away at this crow, trying to hit the thing, and it's flooding around him, squawking.
Damn it. I don't know if I roll well rolling for other people or not. I apologize for that.
Well, that's all right. Hopefully,
I
we
feel
got the barrel
terrible.
out of the way. And you can
Go ahead, Vama. Attack this crow.
All right, here we go. Short sword.
But what did you roll?
Oh,
What
for
did-
fuck's sake, went into a
Ian,
crowd.
what'd you roll for your initiative?
6 plus 1, 7.
I got a 6.
Okay, so you
Oh, I
actually go
thought
for
you
me.
had a.
Yeah.
My own attack roll is a
I had a
17.
10,
Don't make me
Tyra.
re-roll it.
Okay.
By the way, Ian, I sent you a picture of what you now look like.
I'm not going to look at it right
So
now.
did you hit that crow?
I can't see it. 17. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, I hit the motherfucking crow this time on a 14. That's going to hit
Nice.
armor class 6. And I do a total of
splat.
11 damage to it.
Splat.
I cut the fucker in half.
Oh, and then some.
I finally like pull this master sword just kind of straight up, and I take this thing like vertically in half.
Now,
To be fair, I hit that 1, but I didn't roll damage for it. Is that a thing? I mean, I do 1d6.
well, 1d6. I suppose you might just wound it.
I mean, let's just add insult to injury here and let me not kill it.
Damn it.
3.
Meanwhile, you guys have killed enough of these things
Morale checks.
that they ought. You know, it says here when 4 are down, and you guys actually killed 5 now.
And
The last 3 just flee into the tower, and they
hang on,
disappear
they
into
actually-
the upper floor of the tower.
You have an initiative count in between. Velma should have his initiative count here.
Oh, so you can. Oh, yeah, right. You can still attack them.
He can close ground on one of the ones that's still around.
Yeah,
me.
but that's what they're doing during their turn, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're
they're
talking
going on
doing,
12.
right?
He's going on 7.
If they're flying away, let them fly away.
But they don't. That's the thing. They're not flying away until after your initiative count.
I thought I killed the one that's right next to me on mine.
Yeah, you
The
did.
one that was attacking
Okay,
me.
okay. I thought you did that the turn before. That was for the turn.
No. That was just like right now.
Yeah, he just killed it.
Okay, no.
And
that
you
was my-
killed one, right?
I killed
Yeah.
one. It was confusion on my part. I thought he
Okay.
did it last turn.
5 of 8 are dead right now.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
so
That was
these
my-
3 go into the top, disappear into the top floor of the tower, and you can see the top of the tower has kind of is open. It's ruins. It's caved in or something. You can kind of tell now that the crows probably have a nest in there or something. Who knows? But they leave. They run away, and you guys look around, and you're looking at Vama, kind of going, "Hey, buddy, can I get you a Band-Aid?" Like,
Well, he is actually Tyroth is going to go over there, and he's going to go ahead and throw himself out a cure light on him. So he's going to pray over you again because he realizes you're injured.
This is beyond injury.
Yeah, this is, but you still get 7 hit points back.
I only
No.
okay.
Yeah, look, try not to
It's
meta
a-
this.
It's a
I don't
thought that
know how
counts.
Lost.
It's a thought that counts. Okay. I'll take it. They're bigger fish to fry. Ow.
ow.
I'll take it though.
Now you guys can decide, but you do notice that you've had a moment to kind of take this in, and he casts a heal spell. You can hear the crows rustling around up on the top floor, and you can take in the view again, and I'll describe that in a moment. But you can also tell there's another tunnel over here that's leaving the platform,
All right.
and it's similar to the one you came in. It seems to go straight down the mountain at a slight angle. However, it's not straight out to this platform. It goes in a little ways and then angles off a bit to the southwest.
I want to take a moment. Vama wants to take a moment. Or I want to take a moment with Vama. Is that okay? I'm sorry. I just lost a really good friend, one that I've had for my whole life.
True.
We were rather close to each other, as a matter of fact. It was like literally my right-hand man.
And that's a traumatic injury, I'll admit. I mean, yeah, and it's once it sinks in that, yeah, you've lost an organ. And for now, it's gone. I mean,
But
who knows
the
for-
Cure Light Wound spell at least has made it so I'm not bleeding, even though I don't know if that alleviates pain.
Oh, yeah, it does. Actually, you feel great again, and you can actually put your finger in your eye hole.
Don't even think about that.
And it's like, why
Hey,
is that? Wait a minute.
Who was holding on to that emerald again?
The guy that's gone! Oh, I see what you mean. Very, very clever. The finger, though.
guys, we're already going to have a hard enough time when we get to the next town. We're going to have an orc and a freaking half-elf with you. We really don't need the half-elf with this fucking, like, ginormous crystal in his face.
No. You can call me Vecna later. Don't worry about it right now, though.
No, you only get to call yourself Vecna if you rip your own eye out.
Now you can fandangle an eye patch or something.
That's what I'm trying to say. Bandage. I want to cut the trim off of the bottom of my tunic to give myself a little bit of a head wrap to go around and at least give myself some modicum of
Oh boy. Now
I'd like to do that, and also when I get a chance, avert thine eyes, sickly ones. But I'm going to cut the belly open of that raven, and I'm going to pull my eyeball right out of its belly if I can.
I suppose, yeah, it's there, and
The one
Why
that
not?
I killed right there on the ground. It's the one that
and
poked
you
me.
can find the remains of your eyeball. It's not pretty. It's
I'm going to take it right out of its craw.
give it a good rest home.
I'm going to hold it in my spell component bag as a lucky talisman, man.
Get some ibuprofen, or not, or ibuprofen.
Canadian. It's ibuprofen.
Yeah, yeah. No, what's the stuff they put organs preserve them and stuff.
Oh, like
Formaldehyde.
formaldehyde. Corona beer.
Corona beer. Tequila. All right.
Yeah.
So-
No, I want to do that. I want to rip. I'm going to cut that bird's head off too.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's feasible, and you could get your eyeball and you can put it somewhere for now and maybe keep it.
I'm going to keep
Yeah,
the eyeball
keepsake.
in the pouch, the leather pouch that's around my
By
neck.
the way, guys, there we go. There's Vama right now.
Oh, wait a minute. What's he? Did he put it in the? I haven't had to hang it. Oh. Hey,
Ian, I found you.
that was from Lord of the
Thanks,
Rings, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. It's from Helm's Deep, but
You know,
Nice.
good looking out, man. Vama doesn't have a beard. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Now, if I can bring your attention to you can now see the view on the other side. You can see the plain below you as the river exits the valley and snakes across the plain. And you again see that island, the head of the serpent, and you can see the eye of the serpent, it's a glowing, there's something glowing on that island. From here, you can't tell what it is, but it's bright enough and it glows bright enough that you can see it from this distance. You estimate you're probably over 10 miles away. And unfortunately, you can't ascend here or descend. It's just impossible cliffs, steep, dangerous. You'll have to go back and down the valley. It seems to be the only way, unless you can fly. And so far, no.
I'm going to wager that this other tunnel leads to the other stairwell.
Yeah, it's a good guess. You didn't find any other cross tunnels or anything, and the way the angle goes, yeah, it probably does. And that you could go that way right now. The tower's still there. It's got a door on it. Looks like it probably the door doesn't look like it's been used for decades, not centuries.
Look, those ravens flew away, and they're not going to mess with us. You want to burn them out of their nests?
They're in the tower.
Yeah. I actually feel somewhat livid. Is that a?
Yeah, it's upsetting. Oh boy, that's a keen
I
injury.
want to burn those things right out of their nests if we can. You know.
Yeah, that's
is that the term you want to use right now when you're talking about somebody who's losing as much blood from their eye socket as you are? Lividity?
I don't even
Oh,
think livid works with somebody who can only see with half their head.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, it's up to you if you guys want to carry on. You're not sure what's in the tower. Who knows?
Look, I say we move into that tower as quickly and as aggressively as we can. They fled from us. They're not going to attack us again if we take that initiative and keep on moving, you know. And if they have a lair, I say by hook or by crook, we burn these sons of behemoths out.
Okay. So,
We'll take as many of them as we can. I don't care if they ever take out another eyeball in their lives.
can someone pick locks? The door at the base of the tower is locked.
Well, the monk's a monk thief, so
Yeah, but who has lockpicks?
it's true. Can we just brute force it?
It looks like it. Yeah.
I'll roll open door.
Yep, go for it.
I do it too. I rolled 3 under 20.
Nice.
Oh, right. Exceptional strength.
Crash. You give it. You put your foot into it. You rolled a nat 20?
No, I rolled a 3 under 20.
Oh, nice. So it buckles. Roused by the draft from the open door, the dust of ages billows out from the darkness. When it clears, you can see several box-like shapes on the floor of the room beyond, their outlines softened by a thick layer of dust. No one but yourselves has come this way for many years, and to judge by the skeleton slumped against one of the boxes, the last one to do so met with an untimely end.
I guess he's missing an eye.
more so. And you got to be careful moving in this room because there's just so much dust, fine dust, almost an inch thick on everything. It just stirs up constantly. Actually, I'll show you the room. I'll bring us back. Get rid of that door. Bear with me. And you guys can move your characters up to the doorway, which was locked.
I'll be right there in the doorway because, well, damn it, I'm the one that opened it.
I'm feeling a little vulnerable, so I'm going to stay away from the outside edge.
Now, you think the skeleton's that of a dwarf, and it's got a rusty dagger lodged between its ribs.
Huh.
And it's old, been here a long time. It's just down, its clothing are rotten rags and mildewed leather, basically holding it together. The dust-covered boxes are wooden lockers. There appears to be 5 of them. And to your annoyance, they, one after the other, they're empty. You check them and they're not locked. They don't appear to be trapped. You carefully, through the dust, you finally find that they're all empty.
So this place has been raided at some time, probably within the last 100 years, by enemies who have also swept it clean.
Yes, and you guys can make a search of the room. There's a door. Doesn't appear to be locked in the western end. And there's no stairs or ladder. It goes up to the 2nd floor, but that door leads into the interior of the tower.
Right. And those ravens just flew up somewhere, like maybe they nest in the cliffs overlooking the upper side of the
They're
tower.
above you, you think. You heard them up there.
They're not going to attack us. They're not going to attack us again.
They better
Anybody
not.
want to do anything in this room before we move on? Or
I'm good.
Yeah, I'd like to give a cursory scan, maybe a hands-on scan. All in the northwestern corner.
okay, and yeah,
There?
there is a pit there.
Well,
but
I was
that's not what catches your eye, though.
But I was looking at the walls.
And that's perfect because it will be automatically found if the walls are searched. It is a concealed compartment, 1 foot square and 2 feet deep. And you can tell because it was actually rigged. It was trapped. You found the trap. It says you automatically find the trap if the wall is searched.
What sort of trap?
The trap is... Oh, sorry, I botched that. There is a 10-foot deep pit that you found. And you did find that in the bottom of the pit. And now I'm going to take precautions, of course, when I do maps next time, that I'll have covered up stuff.
Because of that last one, I just learned to ignore it and just figured it was somewhere else.
But you do find there is a pit trap in front of the compartment. When you open the compartment, the pit would open up.
Okay. So we were able to see that was the nature of the trap.
Yep. And you actually set it off accidentally, and the hatch opens beside you, and you're like, whoa. And you can see there's another skeleton down at the bottom of the pit. It also appears to be a dwarf, a second skeleton, and it's wearing leather armor. It has a short sword.
How deep is
functioning,
it?
Actually. About 8 feet. I guess you can jump down and search them if you want.
Maybe. What about the compartment, though?
That has a wooden box.
I'll look at my companions with my one good eye. It's going to take me a minute to stop joking about that.
No.
I'll look at my companions. I mean, like they can see what has just happened here too. Can we reach that box without? I mean, like, how?
No, you pull it out, and the trap is nullified. So you pull it out, and you check over it. It's not trapped, and doesn't appear to be locked either. But it contains a fine tapestry. Probably worth some good money. But it encumbers as 300 gold piece equivalent. So that's like 30 pounds or...
Well, maybe this is the time to tell you guys that I've only caught 68 pounds or 51 pounds on me, and I can carry 350.
Yeah, you're our muscle for sure.
So this tapestry is pretty nice. It's probably worth, like I said, a couple hundred gold pieces. And it's wrapped around a small silver mirror.
Wait, so why don't we lay that out onto a clean section of floor so we can take a look at it and admire the design, or see if there's maybe there's an illustration on it, and take a look at this mirror too?
It depicts in stylized form the view of the Serpent River from the tower. Now, there's been some hints that you guys have been gathering about the Serpent's Eye, and the fact that it was worshipped or something, and you're starting to suspect that these dwarves actually may have had something to do with worshiping this Serpent's Eye. And you realize now that you can really see it from here really finely, and that these dwarves probably purpose-built this platform just to view the Serpent's Eye.
Right, like some sort of ode to it, or...
Yeah, you found that amulet with the serpent, and now you hold the amulet out, and it has the same coils as the river, and so on. And it was made by the dwarves here.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Mm. And gentlemen, I have to actually leave in a little while. I have to go pick something up before it gets too late. And so I was wondering perhaps if this was a good time to wrap the session up.
It probably is. This is actually a really good point for me. And as far as from GM perspective, it's a good cliffhanger to leave us on. We just found a fucking hoard of treasure. We've got to figure out what to do with.
Well, the one thing though, it would be really nice if we could get a better examination of the corpse, the dwarven corpse that is down in the hole.
Yeah. Okay. So
you know what I mean?
Let's have some bit of closure here. There's a couple things tie up,
and also the one that we can kind of do a hands-on on the one that's pinned to the wall with the dagger.
So you hop down, check out the corpse, and it's another poor dwarf that died violently somehow and was thrown in this pit or set off its own trap or whatever. And he had the short sword, leather armor, which was surprisingly good shape. And also, he's lying by it is a set of thieves' tools.
Good.
Wow, we got two people with thieving abilities, and neither of us have thieves' tools, right?
And there's probably the glint of gold in the skeleton's belt pouch. There's 15 gold pieces.
What condition is the skeleton in? Is he a corpse? Is he just
No,
bones?
it's old bones. 100 years old. Dried husk. Paper.
Like we're not gonna be able to get him out of there without putting him in a bag, basically.
No,
the corpse itself. I mean,
he would come in pieces, yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Okay, you guys open the box. You found the tapestry. It's like I said, these dwarves, and you can tell now it's sort of like a dwarven art motif, and they obviously revered this river. They revered the Serpent's Eye for some reason. This glowing head at the end of the river, and it's got its hooks in you guys as well now too. You're kind of curious to see what this sort of Serpent's Eye is about, and it's kind of on the way out as well. But first, you have to get out of this valley, and you guys are now probably you're over halfway easily. You're probably 2/3 of the way through. I'm hoping 1 or 2 more sessions will finish the module.
So what do we clean? What do we have that tapestry here, which we've looked at? It's going to be 30 pounds worth of coiled up tapestry. This is going to be some heavy stuff to carry, but I think it might be worth something not only to us but to other dwarfs in the area who may be able to recognize it and know that it's worth something as a as a cultural or artistic value for them.
He's right up my alley. I'm thinking we hold this thing ransom for a lot of money.
Hey, I wasn't going to go there.
Hey, Darren, did we pick up any additional experience for the crows?
Yeah, they were 10 each. Or no, not even actually. I think they were. I was impressed with those crows. I thought, oh, this is going to be crows. And I'm like, wait a minute. Nil for XP.
What?
Nothing. It
Wow.
says nil.
Wow.
How much XP to get
You got
the
nothing for it.
Yeah, how much is that worth? How much is that
Yeah,
worth?
that was worth.
That's not a
That
word.
crow got a lot of XP. Briefly.
Almost went up a level, that little creature.
I'm going to stop the
apologize.
broadcast here, by the way. Just thanks anybody who watched or whatever. And thanks for great crew. You guys were great. Just stop broadcast. We can still chat, though. Thanks, everyone.